What's up, gamers? Aaron Shack here, and we are live to vote in the Game Awards. Today I am hosting a panel where we are going to get a number of opinions from fellow gamers that are here on the channel. We're going to be sitting down with jstar0420. You can find him at twitch.tv/jstar0420. Let me actually drop that in the chat real quick. And we're also going to have Acting Relic join us as well. So yeah, I'm just going to link JStar there in the chat. Okay, I think we are set with everything I want to pull up and showcase here. Let's make sure all of our chats are fired up. And let me bring in our panelists. Because I think this is going to be a contentious one. We're going to have a lot of discussion here, so it's going to be very exciting. Hello.
Hello, sir.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Is Jay doing his thing? You tune in
I'm
over
sure.
there.
I said hello to him, but I think he might have muted or something. I'm not sure.
I know he's doing a stream, so let me see. See what's cracking over there. I was thinking we should probably hold off on voting for Game of the Year until the end, you know?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I say go
we can't give it away.
All the way to the end and work our way backwards.
Okay, yeah. That's a perfect idea.
Because the first couple categories we're going to get through because it's just like, do we care about this? Not really.
I never care about esports. I'm sorry. I don't even...
I just don't follow it.
I don't either. Oh, he's doing Grand Theft Auto. Hang on, let me see.
Like... If I was invested, say, like, I'm invested in one or two fighting game players, but like major competitive like team esports for League and Counter-Strike, I just don't follow it.
Jay, we got you there?
Any boots?
Oh, I'd also like to point out that the guy who analyzed the moon phases for GTA 6 trailer 2, it appears that he was wrong. You know, it looks like today is come and gone. I mean, I don't know. Rockstar could still drop it within the next, couple hours, but doesn't look like the moon phases are revealing.
Yeah, the power of the cosmos is difficult to understand, Aaron.
It's very tricky, man. I mean, oof, close one. Would have been crazy if he was right though, because I would have been eating it with all the smack I've been talking. So. Wait, I think I heard Jay, or maybe it was on his stream.
I'm not sure what the problem is.
Yeah, maybe he's doing.
Let me think.
A little intro. I noticed there's been a lot of talk about the jury this year. Have you been following any of that?
Heard bits and pieces of it about like I heard one thing about say like PC Gamer is on there and they gave Space Marine like a 60.
Yeah, I don't think they have any credibility over there.
Okay.
At PC Gamer. And also, there's just like, journalist outlets that are not gaming. Entertainment Weekly, for example. LA Times, Rolling Stone, Variety, NPR, The Atlantic, discussing film. I get that they post a lot on Twitter about games. There's some overlap between games and films and nerd culture and what have you. But it's like, why is the Guardian or the Mirror posting, like, about games? But the other cool thing is that if you scroll down the list here, there's a lot of outlets from all over the world. And most of them are gaming. other than Screen Rant. I guess Screen Rant's not really gaming either, if we want to be super critical.
Everything.
Yeah.
Like, they're kind of... Yeah, I don't know.
And then you have your accessibility groups at the very bottom here, which is actually really cool that there's so many. The accessibility nominees are determined by a specialist jury of accessibility experts. And
That's a good idea.
You see a lot of things that you hear about online. Can I play that? Right. Steve Saylor, Steven Spawn, all these big names in accessibility. So, I mean, that's super cool that they gave them a spotlight to make sure that realm of the awards has the most credibility. Oh, I think we lost Jay.
It's handled by people who understand what it means to properly design a game for accessibility to all users.
Mm-hmm.
What up?
What's up, Jay?
Hey, Jay.
Dude, I could not hear you guys. I couldn't say anything. I don't know what it was. Well, I kind of maybe have an idea. Like, I had an incident spam situation.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it was weird. So, but carry on.
We were just talking about, just a quick little controversy here. I want to get your viewpoint on this. We were talking about how the voting jury here has some kind of controversial journalist outlets here. Like, there's a lot of ones you expect, maybe IGN, Gamertag Radio, Game Ranks, GameSpot, what have you. But then there's like Entertainment Weekly or LA Times, Rolling Stone, even PC Gamer's credibility could be questioned. I think even IGN you could question them. NPR.
So you can see how my face just twisted.
Oh no, you just
like, first of all,
Variety, The Atlantic, Discussing Film, The Guardian. These are press outlets. They're not gaming. Gaming press.
I can understand people having opinions and stuff like that. Like, I'm not even sure if we even actually have an official one. I'm not even sure if this VGA even is considered an official one. As like us as consumers are considering this one as an official one, but there's no official consider like how the Oscars or the Emmys are. We don't have a particular one,
True.
But this would be considered our official one. So to hear people that doesn't even touch the genre until like the past 10 years, 5 years, now they want to touch in because that's the hot thing right now.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, but it's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, it's like we just ignore them, but who's going to pay attention to them other than I'm not even going to say the average consumer, because even the average consumer knows better than to trust those guys.
Yeah. For sure. But yeah, I've been seeing a lot of buzz about that and about, the credibility of the entire awards show now being in question because, now Rolling Stone has input. And Rolling Stone is, that's like a music magazine. That's what it was built on anyway. I mean, I know it's evolved into things, but like, why is NPR telling us about gaming? I've never heard a single thing on NPR about gaming. They may have publications on the website.
I'll say this: NPR is like branching out, so I'll give them that.
They need the funding, man. They're publicly funded, so.
And that's the thing, like.
Yeah.
And they've done well for publicly funded.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what? I'll let them have it. That's the one outlet.
You'll give them a freebie.
All the weird ones, like Variety and stuff, I'll let NPR slide.
And we were also just pointing out that if you keep scrolling down, like there's a lot of global outlets. Argentina, Australia, Belgium, Germany, Brazil, Canada, like all these outlets from all over the world. So that's actually good.
But that I can understand because we're solely or majority familiar with what we know in the States. So it'd be unfair to like exclude like India and stuff like that, Japan, because we don't read the same things.
That's very true.
We don't get the same information as they do. So I'm just gonna leave that area. I would only speak about our.
I would argue that most of theirs are gaming outlets, though. Like you can tell by their brand names. So all of a sudden, the American one is American and UK seems to be stacked with non-gaming outlets, which is interesting.
But it's a weird thing in the US because it seems like they're bashing games while at the same time like pushing games. It's weird because it's like usually Entertainment Weekly. If you scroll down, I'm in a delay.
Oh yeah,
but like
Entertainment Weekly, sure.
Well, is it on that page? Like you're on the.
Yeah, Entertainment Weekly, LA Times, NYT, New York Times Wirecutter, Rolling Stone, The Atlantic, NPR, Variety, Discussing Film, The Guardian, The Mirror. Yeah, and then it just all sorts of outlets from then on down. And then the accessibility stuff is at the bottom, as well as esports. So they have all the esports,
covering esports.
Yeah, big brands there
and such. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, they actually seem to have a lock on accessibility and esports, and I would argue that other countries seem to have more of a gaming publication tilt than we do, which is just interesting to note. I don't know if it's going to affect anything. I know everyone just likes to call the awards rigged if our favorite games don't make it through.
Well, we're at the point where I would say it is.
Mm-hmm.
But like I miss the days when we did the live voting for gaming. Like we should bring that back.
Like just have a bunch of buttons in the crowd.
Yeah, just to quell the idea or the thought of like it being rigged in general. Because even you can still rig it if you do it that way anyway. But just the idea alone would just die down.
I mean, just look at what like IGN and even PC Gamer giving Space Marine 2 a 6 out of 10. Like,
well, we don't trust IGN no more.
Yeah, so I mean, they're jilting the scale here. Because I don't even remember what they gave Wukong. I think they also gave it like a low number at IGN.
It's like the ones that bother me is like, I don't even know any real gamer that reads The Atlantic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most gamers just go into the store and they look at what looks cool and maybe they ask the worker and that's about it. Well, they gave it an 8 for Wukong.
Okay, yeah, they
it's
gave
not
Wukong
super.
an 8.
Yeah, super crazy.
It's a bit more
but then didn't they give Brothership? Wait, they give Mario. Hang on. This is one that I have a bone to pick with. We got to get to the awards, but this is my last one. I got a bone to pick with this one. So Mario and Luigi Brothership. Let me scroll down to the bottom here where they gave the score. Okay, it's a 5. It's mediocre. Apart from its great battle system, Mario and Luigi Brothership is an incredibly disappointing revival that suffers from boring gameplay and dialogue, a bloated runtime, shockingly bad performance, and a fundamental misunderstanding of what made the series great. Okay. But the gameplay is the battle system. So if the battle system's great, that's like 90% of the gameplay, right? Like that's like saying Final Fantasy's turn-based battle system is really incredible, but God, the gameplay sucks. Like I don't know. Gotta take that off. I don't know. That one really got me. That really grinds my gears. To give a game like that a 5, it's like. It's probably not a revolutionary game, and it's probably just milking the franchise more, but is it bad? It's not.
Is it a 5?
It's not mediocre. I mean, we rarely see 5s, right? I mean, we kind of have that whole conspiracy theory that IGN only gives 7s. Like, everything's a 7, unless it's, like, truly incredible, like Astro Bot or something else. They give it, like, a 9 or a 10 or an 8 or something. And, like, very rarely do they scale games lower than that. And they like to say that there's a lot of games that score lower than that. There's so many games coming out every day. There's indie games. There's, like, scam games, there's crap, just shovelware.
Sure, yeah.
So, and that's why we don't see as many of those, because they don't even bother to review things like that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, so we're starting at the very end, and we're going to work our way to Game of the Year. We'll save that for the last. So if you go to vote by category or something, I think it was. Yeah, view all categories. You can scroll down to best esports team, right?
Yes.
And we can start there, and then you'll just, I guess you click previous,
or you click way backwards. Yeah, previous.
Yeah, just click previous after each vote. Okay, so best esports team.
Wait. We're starting at best esports team?
Yeah. And work your way backwards. That way we save the Game of the Year vote till the end, and we keep the crowd questioning, our motives and our, and maybe voting on these other things will change our mind about what the ultimate vote is,
Esports, just give it to Liquid. They've won it multiple times. I don't really care.
Okay.
I imagine they might win it. I'm gonna say Liquid.
Do you have anything on this, Jay?
No, because
I'm not really. I'm not an esports guy. All right, we're gonna defer to Andrew on that one. We'll let the.
I'll say Team Liquid.
Okay. I guess it says next category, or you just. Oh, this is gonna be weird because it brings up that. Download the card.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be a little bit of an issue, isn't it?
So I guess we do click next category, and we.
Well, it looped me back to something else.
Game of the Year. Let's see.
Yeah. Go to best esports athlete.
Okay. Yeah, just keep going back to the nominees page, and we'll just have to select them manually, I guess. All right.
Yeah,
esports athletes.
Same here.
I don't know any of these guys, man. I just don't keep up.
The only guy I know is Faker because he's won multiple times before.
And what does he play?
Rings a bell. That's about it, because I've heard him win before.
Yeah.
That's about it.
What game does he play?
It's either Dota or League. It's one of the two.
Oh man, yeah, that's probably why I don't watch that type of.
Yeah, and 33 plays for Team Liquid. Yeah, honestly, I have no horse in this race other than guessing Faker might win again.
And that's what I'm going for. Bam. That's
Bam.
simple.
That's my thought.
Best esports game is next. Actually, let's read these out. I realize we might have some audio listeners, or I'm also doing a shorts feed where you might not see all that.
The cropping.
Yeah, it's cropping it. Yeah, there's just no good way to crop it in that sense. So best esports game, we got Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, Mobile Legends Bang Bang, and Valorant.
I'm going to say Valorant because it's new.
Say Valorant? Okay.
Because Counter-Strike is it's unsurprising if it wins.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Yeah. I'm going to say Dota 2 because I can't remember if Dota 2's ever won. I know League has.
Yeah, they've won before. Not recently, but they've won.
I feel like Counter-Strike has, but I don't think Dota has won at least recently. So that would be my pick.
I might go with Valorant on that one.
I'm going with Valorant.
I haven't heard of Bang Bang. I'm not super...
I think that might be, if I had to guess, that might be a China-only product.
China.
Let me just pull up a thing real quick. Let's see if we get some more.
What is it?
Published by Chinese developer Moonton, a subsidiary of ByteDance. Oh no! not the owners of TikTok.
It's TikTok's gaming division.
TikTok trying to hack into my brains while I'm playing Mobile Legend Bang Bang.
That's why I was like, China. I was like,
yeah,
okay.
Not the.
I didn't want to say anything, but I was like, oh.
The Chinese conspiracy theories. I've already had my second channel. Other people have accused me of being bribed by China, so I guess I'm a rat, guys. Sorry, sold out.
It's a stoolie.
All right, best esports game. All right, so we're good. We're good for the next category.
Yeah. Content creator of the year.
Content creator of the year.
Really, and none of us are on this list. Isn't that crazy?
A crying shame.
Okay, I don't actually know any of these. I don't think.
the law.
I know 2 people on this list.
Okay, what do we got?
I have watched some of Queso's clips, and I know through osmosis who Pekaro is. Pekaro's a rather popular VTuber from Japan.
Cool.
She's also one of the she's been around a long time. I think she started making YouTube and streams back in basically back during the pandemic was when her and a lot of the other HoloLive talent really started to blow up, and Pekaro's one of the only ones that is not a lot of HoloLive's talent have since split away from the company to do their own thing, either over creative differences or being like, yeah, I'm good to just take things on my own now. I want to do my own thing. Pekaro's one of the only ones where I think she's still with HoloLive. And she's popular enough where you can find branded products with her face on it in Japan.
Oh dang.
She has her own, I believe she has her own sake. There's a Pekaro sake that you can buy.
Well, they love idols over there, so yeah.
They do.
I respect the lore here. This is cool. Yeah. She's got quite a thing built up. I always thought this category had to be the newest streamer of the year. I never thought it could go to someone that's maybe they've been around a while, but they just really dominated the scene this year.
Yeah. So
I'll give it to her.
I'm sold, man.
I put it
That's pretty cool.
Pekaro. I wonder about if Queso might win because he's gaining a lot of popularity with basically the 11 to 15-year-old demographic. And the 3 people in the middle I have never seen before in my life. I believe
me neither.
The guy in the red shirt and the black hoodie, I want to say they might be international, so they might have a bigger fan base somewhere else in the world, but yeah, I've never heard of them. So,
I think I've seen a Queso video, but it's I really like Pekaro's her story, her effort.
Yeah.
She's done a lot to get to where she is, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I respect it.
Yeah, you gotta respect it. Most anticipated game.
Game.
Oh, we don't even have to.
Oh no! Okay.
Just click it.
Oh
just
man.
Click it.
Yep.
Just click it.
Yep. Oh man. Okay, we better read these out. No, wait. Jay, okay, I didn't see the one in the middle. Okay, hang on. So we have most anticipated. All right, somebody mute Jay. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Most anticipated game: Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Ghost of Yote, Grand Theft Auto 6, Metroid 4, no, I can't say the word. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, or Monster Hunter Wilds. Okay.
Just click it.
Just wait. Okay, I gotta make sure we're on the same wavelength. Are we talking about Death Stranding?
No, obviously Ghost of Yote. I mean, come on.
Oh my God. Okay, I was like, we're gonna have a fight in here.
No, but of course it's like GTA. Of course it is.
I'm actually a little torn there.
Obvious.
GTA 6 is pretty hype.
Yeah.
Metroid Prime is rough, dude.
Given, though, that's the wild part.
I'm gonna throw a counterpoint here.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I wanna give me a moment here.
Because if not, it's Prime. It's got to be Metroid Prime.
But Metroid Prime has been like in development hell.
Yeah.
Can we even say that's coming?
Metroid Prime 3 came out in 2007. So we are going on almost 20 years since Prime 3.
And if that is not anticipation, I don't know what
If that's not anticipation, I don't know what is.
Yeah, they kind of win in that sense.
At the same time, from a personal standpoint, my vote is on Wilds because it's the game I actually really am like hopeful for.
Right. And honestly, they're all like highly anticipated games.
Yeah,
I agree.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm going for like the obvious average consumer. Like, of course, they're gonna say GTA 6.
Yeah. No, I'll meet you guys there on GTA 6.
Because like I know like a lot of like people I know is waiting on Wilds.
Yeah.
Death Stranding, and a few people I know that's waiting on Prime. I have yet to start Ghost of Tsushima, so I don't have any anticipation for this shit. Yeah, you know. So, but I also understand those that have completed the game is waiting for that, and then there's like mixed emotions about that, but their emotions are like their reasons for those is weird,
right?
I don't want no women in my woke games, J-Star.
She's part of the story.
But what
like,
about
the other game? I didn't play it, but
what about Jin Sakai?
She was in cutscenes. I saw trailers. She was in it.
I want my Jin Sakai. Yeah, I feel like Metroid Prime is rough, man, because can we even say that's coming? All they've shown is like the title card, right? Isn't that it?
That's gonna... you know what's weird? You know what's strange? Why do I feel like we're gonna get like this weird-ass Nintendo Switch announcement?
Oh, what if it's a launch title, dude?
For
Super Nintendo Switch 2, whatever you want to call it.
Because when they're talking about like second quarter...
They're thinking about the next whatever the next model of the Switch is.
Yeah, they're talking about like second quarter of like releasing. That was weird.
Something like that.
Don't they always launch with a Mario though? This would be a first, wouldn't it? To launch with.
They always release 2 games though, but
it could be Mario and
the
Metroid. The
initial game is usually in a Mario game.
Yeah.
And there's like another game that comes in like Animal Crossing or something like that. It comes like close within release, maybe a few months.
A live service Animal Crossing would be the way to go because New Horizons needed more support. If they kept going,
hard to play because it's I guess they use real time.
Yeah,
right.
You have to either lie on your system clock or
a real day-night cycle and seasons.
Yes. Yeah. You got to play at work, Jay, man. Like while you're driving, catch some fish or something,
Catching fish.
Yeah. I'm just gonna be.
They're like, sorry, officer, dude. These sharks only come into these waters at this time of day, this time of year. I'm sorry, I was going 20 over the speed limit.
Oh, you got the shark.
I mean, only 20?
Okay, you don't want me to have it. Okay.
And then he would be like, wait, you got the shark? And he pulls out his Switch. He's like,
It's true.
He's like, I've been looking for that. Can you trade it?
Yeah. They can like drop stuff off.
Give me your world code.
Yeah.
Okay,
That'd
so
be like the most hilarious incident.
A cop pulling out their Switch, dude.
Switch, buddy. He's helping me out with my island.
Wait, what was the cop game that was on Switch? It was like Astral. It's the game where he plays the cop. It's like an anime.
Astral Chain.
Astral Chain. Yeah, he just has like an Astral Chain decked out Switch. Super cop. All right, so what's our final verdict here?
GTA 6.
Yeah. I'm gonna divert from that because I'm playing Death Stranding 1 right now, and I literally couldn't be more excited. I bought the collector's edition of that, which came with like a big blue case, and the BB pod was in there, and it lights up, and there's like all this other cool stuff. And I'm just beyond excited. I didn't even know if a sequel was going to happen. You know, I knew they left it open for one, but I was like, holy crap. And every time I see something on the game, I'm like, holy crap, it looks so freaking good. So I don't know. GTA 6 is definitely going to be dope. I'm excited for both. That would be my two most hype. Metroid just feels like it's not real yet, but the anticipation for that is unreal. It's like Shenmue levels. Because Shenmue went a long time without a sequel, and I have like a love. It's still not over.
I have a hate-respect thing for Metroid.
Yeah,
because I have never beaten a Metroid game. I've never gotten past the first level of a Metroid.
You and I gotta get in some Metro soon, because I've dabbled with them, but I never beat them.
Earlier,
yeah,
like on my Switch, I was playing the NES version and this Super Metroid.
Yeah.
Still can't get past the first level. I'm like, oh my god.
It's hard. It is kind of hard, yeah.
Like between that and Mega Man, I'm like, who are these people?
I'm almost done with Dread. I'm playing Metroid Dread, and that's the first one that I've gotten like I 75, like 80%.
I gotta beat one before I get to Dread.
Yeah, I just kind of skipped. I was like, you know what? I gotta find a way to like get in, and if this is my entry point, fine. You know, that's how I feel.
Maybe I could find Prime for the game.
Oh yeah, I got the Prime remaster for the Switch. I picked that up. I don't know why I just buy games for the Switch without even playing them. I just throw them in a case.
See, that's the problem. We got to link up to get our Switches back in order, man. Because we
we really do.
Touch our Switches, and we have like pretty decent games for our Switches. Like, because Nintendo has good party games, first party games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give them that. They just don't have good communication skills. They don't want you to talk to each other like that. Like, nah, like. I think that's weird. Right. Why did they not? There is a speaker on there, and then there's like a 3.5 jack on there. So why could they not? It has Bluetooth capabilities now. Why can't you not do that?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. Oh man, fill the void. I'm sorry, man. I didn't know I had the caps. He says, "Yeah, Death Stranding 2, all caps." So fill the void. Is that your most anticipated game from that list? Okay, so we're looking at best adaptation now. How many of these have you guys watched? We have Arcane, Fallout, Knuckles, Like a Dragon, Yakuza, and Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft.
The only thing I've seen so far was Fallout. I didn't see Arcane.
0. I have not seen any of it. I want to watch Fallout and possibly Knuckles. I've heard very good things about Arcane. I'm just not that interested in like
LOL.
Isn't
that League, right?
It is League's universe and stuff, but I've heard it's one of those things where you can enjoy Arcane and just never play League.
Yeah, I could see that.
I've heard that as well. Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah. So out of all of them, even though I haven't seen it, I would say Fallout, just because like hearing how happy people were of like they didn't fuck it up.
They really didn't, man.
They did not.
Yeah. Knuckles is kind of stranded on Paramount Plus. So each one of these, you basically have to be on a different streaming service. Like Arcane is Netflix, Fallout is Amazon, Knuckles is Paramount Plus, Like a Dragon, Yakuza is Amazon, and then Tomb Raider is on Netflix. So it's like you got to be milking out like $5 a month to everybody and their dog, and 100 and something to Amazon.
Yeah,
like
so.
The mouse says Yakuza was good.
That thing is bull, man. Because now I just feel like I paid for Prime for no reason.
Yeah, what's the point anymore?
Dude, and they showed me, I was trying to watch a movie today on Prime. I was watching The Thing, just, to rewatch it. And fucking, dude, 8 ads, and each one's like 2 to 3 minutes long. Like, that's worse than Twitch ads. That's worse than YouTube.
My thing is, right, the whole purpose of streaming was to remove ads.
Yep.
Right.
Why do I pay you that much a month?
and you got the free. Everybody had a free edition except for Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone had a free edition to where as though you had to suffer through ads.
You don't have to pay, but you get shown ads. I think that's a fair shake.
I thought that was fair.
Yeah.
But now it's like, I don't care what you pay, you're going to get these ads.
See less.
Unless you pay more, which I think Amazon got sued for that. For charging more to remove ads. Because initially having Amazon Prime meant that there were never going to be ads. But then they added ads, and now there's a whole separate tier regardless of them being sued. So,
and I'm trying to understand, it's not like, and it was more like a dick move, if anything.
Yeah,
because it's not like they need the money.
You don't need the money, man. We buy so much shit off Amazon.
You're Amazon. Like,
I got packages coming in every day.
You made a studio for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need the money.
They don't care if their movies sink or swim. Jeff Bezos is swimming in a Scrooge McDuck vault right now. Him and Elon Musk,
Fallout was good? It worked? Oh, shit.
Yep. Let's see. Phil the Void says Arcane hands down. These beat Arcane. To Mouse says Yakuza was pretty good. I don't know.
Yakuza's good.
It looks good. I would watch it. I just haven't. So I gotta go with Fallout.
Yakuza.
Yeah. I say.
But I have never played a Yakuza
next
game.
Year, secret levels.
Yeah, honestly, and I hope they pull it off. It looks incredible, dude.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
I think the Concord episode might be the best.
Because it's the only thing I know.
Yeah. And they really did knock it out of the park in a big way. So I can't recommend it enough. Best multiplayer?
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Let's get ready.
Oh, we're in it now, aren't we?
Now it actually begins.
Oh, God.
Okay.
All right, Andrew, read these out for us, please.
Okay, our options are Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8, and Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2.
I'm gonna go
because I have not played Helldivers 2. I'm going to say Space Marine 2.
Well, and you know what? You kind of missed out on a good time.
Yeah, I know. I know. Like, here's the thing. I think Helldivers 2 should win.
Yeah,
I would love for them to win. I'm going to vote for them because
the best one in this set. I just haven't played it myself.
I think that, like, and you want to know what's messed up? You can't catch that moment again.
Right. It's not in the same state that it was when it launched.
Yeah. So it's like, damn.
Yeah.
Is this the only category that Helldivers 2 got in? I'm trying to, like...
I'm not sure.
No, I think it's in something else.
Okay. Because...
Yeah.
You know what? I really enjoyed it, and they do deserve their flowers.
It was like community. I think it was something about community.
Okay, fair enough. But I think Warhammer beats it like every time. Look at what game we've played the most out of this list. It's probably Warhammer.
Right.
And has it stopped being fun for any of us? Or any of us bored?
No.
Do any of us just sick of all the customization?
I didn't feel that with with Helldivers as well. Like, I didn't get bored of it. We all just stopped playing because everybody was complaining about PlayStation.
Yeah.
Everybody just stopped playing. Like, I wasn't bored. We just stopped playing.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, it's like a split between the two for me.
If I could vote for two, I probably would. And Mario Party Jamboree, me and Jay, we bought all the other Mario Parties. We haven't bought this newest one yet.
Yeah. And I'm like, I want to buy it, but I'm like, again, I'm not going to play this that often.
It's not the best multiplayer game. That's going to end some friendships.
You know what it is? It's like, you need to grab a bunch of people to play.
You need a bunch of people, and you almost need a bunch of people in the same place. You can't do something like Mario Party over LAN.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Black Ops 6 has really good zombies. I have to give them their flowers there. They did really good there, but God, Space Marine is so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we haven't even tapped into the multiplayer of Space Marine. So
yes, yeah, really just been playing the
just co-op
and operations.
And I still feel like it dominates on this list. What's up, TX? How you doing, man?
What up?
I think Space Marine 2's got best multiplayer here. So let me. I'm saving some screenshots here, so might share some votes on Twitter.
Next. Okay.
Oh yeah, I went Helldivers. Yeah.
Oops.
Okay. Best sports racing?
I don't play any of these.
I got nothing.
There's the racing games. And they're just F1, that's it?
But isn't
what
racing
about
a sport?
Yeah, it is, but I mean, there's only one. What? Get at least two. Where's the
No Forza came out this year?
Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown just came out. When was that? Like a month or so ago?
Yeah,
I don't know, maybe it's
I think we need to crack down on the criteria of the marker for whether they qualify, because it's like you got games that it's only been out for a month in here getting nominated.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not fair to and I get it. So I think you should just carry over into the next year, because if that's the case, you should hold these award ceremonies in January or February.
When the year has fully complete and
Exactly.
everything from the previous year is out.
Yeah, because Indiana Jones is going to be missing out, and a couple other games. Even Cyberpunk missed out on its year, technically. Because it came out after the Game Awards in 2020.
Pretty unfair, and I think we should change that.
It's a weird time to drop it, yeah. December 6th or something is usually when
I think it should be at sometime in
drops.
February.
Yeah.
So
everybody get their little finances.
Sports and racing, I got nothing.
I got nothing either.
I'm gonna go 2K.
2K? Which one?
Wait, yeah, I was about to say, dude,
NBA. I'm gonna go
NBA.
Okay.
You know what? I gotta respect them, because I think they've been injecting story modes into that, right? Like they have a whole almost RPG campaign to a sports game.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. I can't spend the money or the time to share my intrigue.
This
FIFA
is not my wheelhouse right here. Definitely not.
Yeah, not my wheelhouse.
I have the first Frostpunk.
Yeah, for
but I haven't
strategy
played it
here.
Yeah, I didn't play any of these, but Manor Lords looked really cool.
Really good. So
I wonder if we should give them their flowers, because it really does look amazing. But
yeah, I watched a video the other day about Age of Mythology. And it looked pretty, because Age of Mythology basically it's Age of Empires, but instead of being historically accurate, it's mythologically accurate.
I like that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've heard Age of Mythology is good. I've heard Frostpunk 2 is very much Frostpunk 1 with new changes and differences. So I'd probably say, I guess my vote would go to Frostpunk 2.
Yeah, that's where I'm going at. Frostpunk. I heard good things on every single one of them, but it's not my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Did City Skylines 2, that was within the last year, I guess. I guess it just didn't get enough acclaim. It also launched very buggy, but I really enjoyed it. But yeah, I'm gonna go Manor Lords. I think the one I'm most intrigued to play, I would say. And then I found interesting, feature-rich, exciting. We gotta hit next category. All right. Best family. Mm-hmm. Well, the best family is my family, so I don't know. It's okay.
Astrobot, Princess Peach, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, and the Plucky Squire.
It's obviously gonna go to Astrobot, but I want to say either Peach or Plucky Squire.
Plucky Squire is, it's got a good gimmick to it. Playing in the
I haven't played it, but I've
inside and outside of the storybook. You're going 2D and 3D, and that's a really cool mechanic. And that's Devolver, man. They're always busting down barriers and making just incredible games that no one else thinks of.
Yeah.
Yeah, and getting in contact with finding devs and teams that are building weird stuff that are just say, hey, you guys need a publisher that's not going to fuck you over.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We got you.
Yeah, I support them as a publisher as well. I think they're incredible for the space.
I'd say Plucky Squire.
Yeah, I'm torn.
I'm swinging towards Astrobot.
I'm torn as well.
PlayStation.
Yeah.
A mascot, so I'm gonna still stick with Astrobot. But I wanted, like I say, Plucky Squire is also a decent game. But I'm gonna stick with Astrobot.
That's fair.
Did anybody play Astrobot? I'm just curious.
No, I'm waiting till I
have not.
Yeah, me too.
I watched basically a full video playthrough of it, mainly just to see who all the hidden characters were.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was my main draw of interest, was basically the game being used as a time capsule for a lot of PlayStation history.
Yeah, that's fascinating, and I like that angle. It's really cool that they were able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Bring all that nostalgia and retro platformer feels. Looking at this list for me, Astrobot, of course, is very notable. It's getting a lot of, positive reviews, and everyone's, geeking out over the PlayStation lore. Princess Peach. Yeah, exactly. I haven't heard anything bad except from, Xbox gamers that can't play it, the console warriors, so let's not worry about that. Princess Peach Showtime, I played the demo. This is actually I believe it's a remaster or remake of an older, a DS game or something, and it is really cool, because, it gives her the spotlight, and she gets to be a lot of different archetypes, Chef Peach, right, or Musketeer Peach, and it is genuinely fun, but is it worth that price tag of whatever? I think it's a full price Nintendo game.
That's my problem with a lot of Nintendo games.
Yeah,
they're gung ho on sticking to their baseline price, even their B games, and I would consider Peach and Echoes of Wisdom a B game.
Yeah, that's a B game.
I'm gonna leave Party as an A game, because even though I consider it a B game, because it's a second, it's not
it's a spin-off.
Mario, it's a spin-off game. So I don't know how I feel about.
If Peach was $20, I'd pick it up.
No, I would even give it
or
40.
Less. Or less.
I would give it 40, 35.
Yeah, even that would be good. Yeah.
Because they're now hitting that $70 threshold.
Yeah,
so I'd say
that hurts.
40. And then, oh man, wait till we see these. That's gonna be the norm, because remember that Switch too.
Yep,
very true. Mario Party Jamboree, that seems like a great family game. Especially if you get everybody in the room.
Oh yeah, most.
That sounds true to the category. Now, with Echoes
I'm
of...
change it to Jamboree. I'm going to change mine to Jamboree.
I know. That's why I was we have to look at the name of the category. We could say, Astro or Plucky Squire is the best game, But like, does Plucky Squire, is that co-op or something? I don't know. They have like four.
Sure.
They have 4 characters, and that's kind of misleading. But I thought it was single player. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's what really threw me off, because all of these are single player, and Mario Party is the only one.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the obvious choice. It's like, why would you not pick the game that's meant for a party, a family?
And Echoes of Wisdom, the thing that I'm actually really keen to play it, and I was excited, but once again, it's that Nintendo price tag that hits you in the face.
Yep. Same. I think that's also the $40, $35 price range.
But I feel like there's a mistake here with her just creating clones of stuff. She just hypnotizes enemies or spawns beds that she can jump on to climb areas and stuff. Like, that's really the depth of everything, is like, once you realize what the best thing is to clone or to create an echo of or something like that, it's like the game just becomes samey, and it's not really about attacking with magic.
You gotta, once you figure out the mechanics, you gotta find your fun.
And there's really just like what do you call it, like there's just one core ultimate mechanic, a meta essentially, in a single player game, which is kind of demotivating, because you want the game to be like exciting and there to be like multiple things. When you play as Link, you can use the sword and shield, you got the boomerang, the grapple hook, the bow. You have so many different ways to play, and you can kind of choose how you want to play. But with Zelda, they kind of just gave her just the one mechanic, and it just gets old, is what I've heard.
All right, but with that, right?
Yeah.
What era is this supposed to be, though?
It's kind of the Link's Awakening.
Because I'm not gonna. Because once you said grapple hook, that's when you lost me. I was like, nah, that's not, because I don't think that's the same era.
I'm trying to remember if he had one in Link's Awakening. I don't know. He might have had the jump and other stuff, but regardless, Link has more abilities. Like, it would have been cool if Zelda had like, I can do light magic and fire off little light beams or arrows or something. Or maybe she does wield a sword, but maybe it does less damage or something, like
right,
give us something that's like, it's gonna get old, like the gimmick of, I'm sure they thought it was a cute idea, to be able to just take anything in the environment and clone it.
This might just be a roadmap for this line for her, because this is her first game.
True.
So
no, actually, all the games are playing as Zelda. This one, we're playing as someone else, so yeah, Zelda has been the main character all along. I don't know if you guys knew that. Yeah, that's why it's called The Legend of Zelda. I mean,
Legend of Zelda, like, of course you've been playing as Zelda this whole time.
I am actually very pro Zelda being or playable. I've always wanted that, and especially with like the newer games, I was like, how crazy would it have been if Tears of the Kingdom was like co-op, or there was like a segment where you played as Zelda or something,
No one counts the Hyrule thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you got the Hyrule Warriors stuff, yeah. That's fair. Yeah, I gotta give it to Mario, I guess. If we think family game, we have to think.
So well, so it's like.
Yeah, it's best for the category.
It wins by default.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I think about families getting together for like a board game or something, and this is the virtual version of that. I don't know why it's taking so long. Do I have to double click it? I guess so. I don't know why it takes like 10 years for it to like load that image. That's very weird. I'm stressing out my GPU here. Yeah, it just slowly loads that image. It just fades in.
With that, I just did all the encoding to my CPU. Moved it all.
Oh, and that fixed everything?
Yep. My CPU, because I looked it up, right? It doesn't recommend anybody do it with something smaller than an i7.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Not enough core threads. All right. Fighting. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collections Arcade Classics, Multiverses, and Tekken 8.
The only one I played was Sparking Zero.
What'd you think of that?
I bought that on like misleading pretenses because I was always a Budokai guy.
Okay.
Right.
But I never played a Budokai Tenkaichi game. And that's where like I got mixed up. Because I'm all hyped with everybody, like, yeah, we're bringing Budokai back because everybody's just saying Budokai. Nobody's saying Tenkaichi. So I'm like, all right, cool. We're getting Budokai back, and so I get the $100 edition.
Uh-oh.
I'm all playing.
Oh no.
Right? So I'm playing, and I'm like, okay. It's kind of running through the story, because like where I want to say Kakarot is actually Budokai and Sparking Zero is the Tenkaichi.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah,
and that's where I got confused at. But it's good, difficult because Bandai. I don't know what the hell their problem is. but I had fun playing it though.
Okay.
But is it best fighting?
No, I wouldn't. Because this lineup, you have Tekken 8, you have Marvel vs. Capcom, and you got Grand Blue.
Yeah.
See, Grand Blue is a cult classic. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows about Capcom.
Mm-hmm.
Tekken, same thing. Multiverses, I hear good things, but also not a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I want, like, my vote wants to say Grand Blue, but I'm going to say Tekken. I think Tekken's gonna win it, but I'm voting Grand Blue.
Okay.
Multiverses had a lot of hype when it launched in like early access. There were just millions of people playing and what have you, and it definitely is dominating in the sense that like Smash is on the back burner because they've finished with Ultimate. And the Nickelodeon game hasn't really panned out very well for them.
Yeah.
And PlayStation's not going to do an All-Stars 2 or something, which is probably a mistake on their end.
I know. You know what? I would hold that until PlayStation 6.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see, but I doubt it. I'd love to be wrong, by the way.
They just got Astrobot. They just got Aloy. They might be getting from.
Maybe they're gearing up.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they want. Oh my god! If they,
I'm gonna lose.
I am. Yeah, dude.
And you want to know what?
Oh my god!
It's bigger than that. I think it's bigger than that because you're going after these guys, and you just got Crunchyroll. I know what you're doing, Sony. I know what you're doing. You're sneaking in and trying to monopolize. I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're trying to beat Nintendo to the punch.
Dude, if they buy FromSoft, Andrew's gonna have to buy a PlayStation 6,
I'm gonna have to buy a fucking PlayStation if I want to. Like, if they buy Katakao and they buy FromSoft, I'm
I think it's just
going to have to. No, Katakao owns From Software.
Yeah,
right.
They're targeted on the parent company of From Software, which is Katakao.
Oh no, I thought it was just From Software.
No, they want Katakao.
They want everything.
Okay, so
FromSoft plus some other.
My initial thought is true then. That's because I thought my assumption was they were just going for From Software.
And that's how you get your Bloodborne remake right there.
Like I just said, you just got Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
I know what you're doing, dude. And they got everything.
They got everything.
Damn.
Yeah.
Sony, you wow.
Well, they're doing what Microsoft does.
Yeah. Buy Activision.
Kind of sad.
Would they? But no. Would they do it better though?
Here's the thing. There's a possibility that
Maybe
they could do it better where they don't kill studios that they buy.
Yeah.
But I don't like this exclusivity lockout idea that
I'm with you on that. I'm totally
where it's just like, fuck you, buy our console if you want to play.
You know what?
Thing.
I think that's the purpose of. I think that's where they'll win if they go on their whole Crusade acquisition run, right?
Yeah.
Because they're leaning into PC and everyone's like talking about opening up their IPs to everyone.
In theory,
in theory, right? So I don't know. I'm gonna wait till like a PS6 announcement to make a judgment on that, because it's really too soon. Because we've gotten the announcement for a PS6 before we even got an announcement for a Pro.
Right.
So everybody's already gearing up and getting their money together and their businesses together for that. Like, so once they announced the PS6 release, I knew the PS5 was a wash. No one's really kind of worrying about the PS5 or this Xbox generation right now, because PC has woken up everyone during the early 2020s. Well, we're still in the early 2020s, but 2020, 2019, everybody started buying a PC,
right,
or some type of gaming laptop. So I think like it's gonna change to where as though you're gonna see things in other places, and it's gonna be surprising. But the last one, obviously, to go will be Nintendo, if at all.
If at all, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Nintendo needs to go to PC. Yeah,
I don't think anyone needs to go anywhere. It's just that people want what they want.
Yeah,
right.
Because no one's tripping and batting an eye about Nintendo. People say what they say about Nintendo, but still buy
Nintendo's the exception that proves the rule. You know?
Right. So it's like it's the exception.
Yeah. And they've always done their own thing, and they're always going to be fine, no matter what they do. Yeah. Okay.
So I think it'll be different with that next generation.
The only thing is, if Sony buys FromSoft, essentially, that's how you get your Bloodborne remake, but it's going to be locked on PlayStation console.
On PlayStation 6.
The slimiest thing they could do, dude.
I don't think so. I
hope not.
I think they're gonna open up because they see. I think if anything, it'd be like how it is now. It'd be delayed releases. It'd be, and then I think it'd be like closer windows on top of that.
Yeah, that would be nice.
It wouldn't be the 4 to 8 month window. It'd be more like a 2 to 4 month window.
Honestly, if they would do it day and date, they could possibly see more sales. But
they could all do that. They can always do that, but they choose not to for like financial purposes. Yeah, think about it. It's a business. First and foremost.
Yeah,
it's a business.
Yeah. Anyways,
so you can't fault them for that.
As for fighting game here, my personal vote is Marvel vs. Capcom, just because I'm able to fucking play Marvel 2 without spending hundreds of dollars for a copy.
Yeah, and we have to note that is a incredible collection of games, and we're going to get a second collection with the Power Stone games and stuff. So, I mean, if I could pick that would be my number one, because Power Stone is also lost to time. But yeah, I got to give it to Capcom on this one.
Yeah, I'm still gonna stick with Grand Blue.
That's
this one.
And Multiverses is great. They have done the free to play model, so you can literally just download the game and start playing. They rotate characters every week. You get to play as a different set of characters, and then of course there's characters you can unlock by playing the game, or if you want to buy them. So, and it's literally everything WB, from superheroes to cartoon characters to horror movie villains like Jason and Game of Thrones and Agent Smith and stuff like that.
They're using their IPs.
They are,
and it's amazing.
And that's a good thing. So I gotta give them their props, but like it has kind of lost its steam, and it feels like nobody talks about it anymore. It just can't get that hype.
That big break hiatus or whatever they took.
Yeah, I mean they needed to though, and it's unfortunate, but
and that was the thing. Like if they knew that beforehand, so why even bother?
Yeah,
releasing prior. Like,
ooh boy, next category, gamers.
All right, how fast we want to just click the one that we all played? literally consumed hours of stream time between all three of us.
It's true.
All right. So, but this is the thing I brought up earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
Games like releasing within a month. Metaphor just came out weeks ago.
Right.
Yep. Just barely made the cutoff, dude.
I'm not exactly. It's good, and I'm not taking anything away from it. But that's what I mean by like it's unfair because how long has like a Dragon been out? How long has Elden Ring been out? How long has Dragon Dogma been out?
Yeah, and Dogma 2 and Rebirth came out within weeks of each other.
And then because you have the world that's Persona fans and play Metaphor,
right? Yeah,
they're gonna all vote for that.
Yeah, that'll probably win if
it kind of
Elden Ring doesn't.
To the rest of the nominees in that situation. So that's why I say like you kind of gotta move that and give everybody that room. Because I understand like what Erdtree was in June or something like that. August.
Yeah, when was Shadows of the Erdtree?
This year's been a blur. Let me look that up.
The Shadow of the Erdtree.
Yeah.
And what?
Yeah, June 20th.
June. Okay.
Rebirth was somewhere around the same time.
Yes.
Like a Dragon was like in the spring. Dragon Dogma just recently came out like a month or two ago.
March.
March? Oh shit.
Dogma 2 was March.
What am I thinking
of?
Was that Baldur's Gate? I'm thinking of Baldur's Gate.
No, Baldur's Gate was last year. And Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was February 29th. That's what hurt me so bad. It was like Final Fantasy VII, Rise of the Ronin, Dragon's Dogma 2, Stellar Blade. They were all just like, boom, 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 power punch. Like, what?
Yeah. So it came out.
Fuck my wallet. Screw my time.
But this one's a tough one, though. Like,
yeah, this is rough.
Opinion's obviously gonna be Elden Ring, but like, like there's fans in every single one of these nominees.
And here's my thing: I want Erdtree to win here.
Yeah,
and that's what it gets. It gets Best RPG. All the other categories that it's in, we can have a discussion. But I think, in a personal sense, it can have RPG, but the other ones need further discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna click the thing.
Yeah, I say Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree.
I really enjoyed what I played.
Were thinking Metaphor. Man.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Now, Dogma 2 was a lot of fun, but the performance really kept me
Dogma 2's a
and my schedule.
But it's still unoptimized as fuck.
God. And Rebirth is great.
I need Dogma 2 Dark Arisen, which is
director's cut
optimization and patch plus the DLC area.
Oh god.
Once we get that, that game becomes like.
So maybe for what is it called? Where they best ongoing game? Maybe it could get a Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty nod next year.
Yeah.
Ugh. Rebirth was great too, but like, dude, I played like 3 to 5 hours of that game and I felt like I got nowhere. Like I was side questing, open world, and it's beautiful and it's great and it's everything. It's just like, dude, every single game from Dogma 2 to Rebirth to Stellar Blade, all these games and Rise of the Ronin, they all came out in their massive like 80-hour time sinks, every single one of them. And also, Erdtree is the dude. We spent hundreds of hours in Erdtree. Yeah. We spent hundreds of hours in base game, which is also Game of the Year. So I feel like it is the best RPG, hands down.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yep.
I say let's table the discussion on that for, when we get to the top. We might have more thoughts about Elden Ring when we get to the top. Okay. Best action adventure. Oh man. No.
So,
all right, guys. Star Wars Outlaws. No, okay. Go ahead.
Prince of Persia, Lost Crown, Silent Hill 2, Outlaws, and Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. Now, I want to point out our sub-point to the overall category, which is for the best action-adventure game combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving.
So Astrobot.
It's like, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't really see Silent Hill 2 as an action-adventure game. It's a survival horror game.
It should win horror.
Yeah.
There's not a horror award, is there?
There's no horror category. Even though there's enough horror games that came out this year to make a category.
Well,
they really should, yeah.
So when they do categories, right?
Yeah.
They're usually looking like AAA.
Sure, yeah.
So how many AAA horror games come out
not
normal year? Yeah. So it's kind of hard to like make a category for that.
I think they need to acknowledge maybe indies and AAA in a horror category. Yeah.
Yes.
Now if they do that, but it's like it would be like a super subcategory. It's like best indie horror, best indie action, and stuff like that.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. So, personal opinion, Astrobot.
Right.
Now, Outlaws had an update yesterday, and this is pretty funny. We thought that this was going to be, and the way they kind of pitched it was like, hey, we're going to overhaul and like fix the game, and we're going to, address bugs and tune the stealth and stuff. Well, what they decided to do was make all the stealth and all the missions optional. So now you can just blast your way through the game. I feel like that's caving to like, I feel like you just like cut your game in half and just like spread it open, to be criticized and just gave up on a game that you worked so hard to make and just be like, oh, let's just gut it in half and let you eat the entrails. Like, we ran over this deer on the road. Let's cut it open and let random people eat from it. Like, that's what it feels like.
Damn.
That's a real kick in the nads.
I saw it alongside that. It also came out on PC, and I just hovered over it and I saw
Steam.
Mix, and I'm like, that's probably performance, but I don't know. So, but now hearing that update, it's just like, no, that might be not just performance on PC. That might be also just they released it and also alongside it ripped apart the one thing that might have made it interesting to experience.
Yeah, and like if they had tuned the stealth and some of the takedowns and made it like a better stealth game, I would be cheering for them because I think we need more stealth games, and I applaud when I see a stealth game nowadays because it just seems like it's too damn risky to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people have a problem with the main character. I think they're, she looks ugly, her voice actor looks gorgeous, it's very strange.
That stealth games are rare these days. That's what I find funny.
Yeah.
Because when you look, you always see somebody doing some like stealthy action in a non-stealth game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I find that hard to digest when people are like, "Oh, people don't play enough stealth games, so that's why we don't make them anymore." Or it's not the wave, or what.
Or if they make a stealth game, they have to cave like this and include an action way to get through. Yeah. And I will always take the option, but then other people will be in chat criticizing me for playing so slow and stealthy. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Prince of Persia, I've heard great things about. I own it on the Switch. I just haven't had time to play it. It's literally in my Switch. I was gonna try to play it. I gotta give it to Silent Hill, even though it's not an action adventure. I feel like the combat was really good. Traversal was really good. Not that traversal's too much of a big thing there. But the puzzle solving was incredible. So I'm leaning very heavily on the puzzle solving. Is that I did have to get out pen and paper, but I do salute Astrobot. I feel like that's probably going to be the winner, but I got to be a little Gotta be a little contrarian here.
And here's the thing. I think the thing that it like there should be another category here that is best remake remaster, and that's where Silent Hill 2 gets its true laurels of like, holy shit, you didn't fuck this up.
Yeah, I mean, because Resi 2 should have won it, and Dead Space remake should have won it last year. You know, like they should have had a remake category because remakes are so prevalent. We get so many of them every year, and it's not gonna stop because people love the classics, dude. We always say that we want something new, but what do we really want? We want Call of Duty to go back to, you know, some golden age era of these older classic games. That's why they remastered things. We want Bloodborne to come back, right? So it's a theme with every genre. It's, we want this to come back. We wish, you know, Link's Awakening remaster that they did. Dead Space, you know, Dead Space has been dormant for years. The game's old. It's, you know, 2008. It's been a long time. So it was a perfect time for a remaster or a remake, as it were. So anyway, moving on. That's my point. Best action game?
Okay, this is a really hard category.
Fuck, dude.
Fuck.
God.
Because we got Black Myth Wukong,
Yep.
Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, and Space Marine. Any of these are good choices, basically.
Yep.
I think Wukong's on the ticket, though.
Whatever floats your boat, man. I mean, they're...
Yeah,
I
dealer's
think,
choice on that one.
I personally believe Wukong should win.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it personally to Space Marine 2 because it is my favorite one of these set.
Mm-hmm.
But I would not be mad if Wukong won, Helldivers won, or Space Marine 2 won, or even Stellar Blade.
Yeah.
I think any of those are good choices.
I think
my personal pick is Space Marine. Yeah.
Space Marine's good. I think me and Jay can also vouch for Stellar Blade. We've played enough of it that I think, Jay, you've seen some more of the depth of Stellar Blade's combat. Like when you get really far in, you get those combos where you hold one of the triggers and then any of the face buttons like square, triangle, X, and circle, each of those are different attacks depending on which trigger you're holding. So that's like what, like 8 different attacks that are like special attacks on top of a Sekiro-like combat system mixed in with like the most gorgeous looking model here with ridiculous, so many costumes, dude, like ridiculous. And then the Nier crossover is on the way too, so don't forget that.
Yeah.
So when I hear like best action game category,
right,
I'm like kind of old school with it, and my mind goes to single player.
Okay.
So it's like I gotta X out Helldivers and Warhammer.
Okay.
Call of Duty stays in by luck because it has a campaign mode.
Right. So is Warhammer. So, you just didn't play it, did you?
What? There was a campaign mode in Warhammer?
Yeah, come on, man. Yeah, with the program, there's a single player.
Beat the campaign together, but you had to go to bed.
That's what I'm saying. No. But we also played together.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
That's why I was like, wait.
Well, you can play it by yourself. I did for most of it.
Yeah, but that defeats the whole premise of what I'm speaking on.
Yeah. No, go for it. Speak your truth.
All right, so it's like I'm gonna say Wukong wins it.
Yep.
But my vote is gonna go to Stellar.
Respect.
That's fair.
I think Wukong is honestly, I feel like it deserves to sweep whatever categories it's in.
Same.
I love Stellar Blade, and it's too similar. It's too similar to Wukong that it almost like hurts it in some ways. It sucks that I have to choose. Because I want Stellar Blade to win something.
Wukong, even though I've never played it, I like it because it's like
so good.
It was the middle finger to Microsoft. Because it was like they were into it, they were not. They were playing so many games. They were like, "Nah, you know what? I'm not gonna touch it." And they were like, "You sure? Okay." And then it dropped and it blew the world's mind. And they're like, We fucked up. We fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
In Space Marine 2, I think there's no better feeling than when you deflect an enemy and you shred him to bits.
The subtitle to this category is for the best game in action genre focused primarily on combat.
Right.
If you're going to talk about the game that has combat to the grand extent, Space Marine has a lot of that.
It's war, dude. It's shooting, it's slashing, it's swords, it's shields, it's everything you want. Blood and gore.
Yeah. So my personal pick is Space Marine 2, but I am perfectly fair if for Black Myth or Stellar Blade. I think both of those are good picks as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Black Myth on this one. As much as I want to give it to Stellar Blade, I think Black Myth just nails it just a little bit more with it. It's got so many skill trees, and combat is even more diverse in some ways. Yeah. Gotta give him flowers on that. All right, what are we looking at? Looks like we're probably over halfway here.
Yeah.
Best VR and AR is next.
All right, Jay, tell us which one.
Fuck, dude. Okay, even this one's got some bangers here. Tell us, Jay, what do we got here?
Okay, so we're looking at Arizona Sunshine Remake, Asgard's Wrath 2, Batman Arkham Shadow, Metal Hellsinger VR, and Metroid Awakening. Right? Awakening.
Yeah.
So I've never played any one of these. I played Arizona Sunshine, but the original, not the remake.
The original, yeah.
And that's because I haven't had the time. It's only $10 for me. I just haven't had the time. Asgard's Wrath is a game also on my list of things, but it was like because it's stuck on meta, and that's why I never.
Okay.
Like the first one, I think you can get it on Steam, but the second one is stuck on meta. Batman, I've heard nothing but good things. It has that weird VR jank because, and I only say jank because VR is not where people want it to be.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you got to slow down. You got to let the thing, it's a camera that got to catch your emotions and stuff. So if you're moving too fast, it's trying to catch up.
Yeah.
So people have a problem with that. And that's understandable. Metal Hellsinger, I wanted to play it when it was on flat.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming the VR is just as good.
Yeah. I have heard from Metal Hell that it is actually like they took the game as it was and transitioned it pretty well because I out of all these, Metal Hell VR is the one that I'm the most interested in because I own normal Metal Hellsinger, and hearing that it got a VR mode, it's just like, shit, if this plays like just that plus Beat Saber, I'm in. Like, that sounds like a good time.
Yeah, all rhythm games do well in VR.
Yeah.
So, and Metroid Awakening. That one, I've heard nothing but good things on it. It feels good if you've played Sniper Elite. It feels similar to that, kind of like feels good, like you're reloading and things like that.
Yeah.
It's more open. But my vote is going to go to Batman.
That's fair.
I agree.
Mostly because of, like, they stepped it up for it. Like, all the Batman VR games that came out, it's, well, I'm going to say comic book VR games, other than The Walking Dead. So they haven't been well. Iron Man wasn't good.
Right, yeah.
They had this pretty decent Marvel game back in the day when Oculus was first released. But they had never really done too well with comic book games, and this one is doing good. So my vote will go to Batman. I think Asgard's Wrath has a really good story, though.
And I've seen the gameplay, and it looks really immersive, really right? Like a really good VR game.
Really good. But it's like the meta thing. It's just, my God.
I think
they're stifling VR.
Yeah, that's a whole other diversion that we get pulled into pretty often. Is how Oculus has just completely ruined VR and its progression. But I think you're right about like the superhero games. Like they've all just been like, this game is you suit up as Batman in the Batcave and play with his gadgets. You suit up as Iron Man. Right. You suit up as Spider-Man, and then you get to swing around the city a little bit, and then you throw up. You know, like
Spider-Man is the most difficult game. I do not recommend Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Spider-Man is for professionals only.
Yeah, dude.
Because go ahead, think you can swing like Spider-Man,
yeah.
and you actually swing.
No, you don't know what it looks like to be.
You wonder
you think roller coasters prepared you? No, you ain't ready. You ain't ready for gravity, brother.
You're not. You're just so not. You think it's fun playing in Spider-Man 2? It's different.
It's very different. Metro, I would also note is that Metro is really a perfect blend of horror, survival horror, inventory management, like counting your bullets, counting your gas mask filters. I think that in VR would just be absolutely terrifying. So I can see why people love it.
Your mask builds up condensation and you can wipe it off.
Yeah, you can do that in the main game, but like in VR, I imagine that's
having it in VR.
That's incredibly immersive, dude. That's scary.
Like I couldn't play that game. I could never.
Yeah, I need you to play that game, man.
I could. All right, next Halloween, you got me.
You got me. I gotta wait a year. But I think Batman, like, I think even the trailers that they showed and like the story and the lore, and it's Roger Craig Smith. It's an Arkham Origins sequel essentially. I'm just bitter that it's tied to VR. I'm super bitter. I'm really jaded. I'm very angry. But I'm gonna give it to him.
On Oculus.
Yeah,
that's the worst.
That's even worse than normal. Yeah, that they've relegated it to that platform. Because I don't want to buy an Oculus, but I guess I'm gonna have to at some point.
No, but the problem is, right? The dudes in the big chairs hear Meta and they're like, yeah. So it's like they hear all these other places. They're like, no, I don't. What's a Pico and a Steam? I don't even need my radiator fix. They don't know about these other places, like even PlayStation. Because even after a while, like certain things hit PlayStation and then it comes over to PC or everywhere else. So I don't like Oculus because they hoard things and they just let it die.
That's right. All right, what do we have next? Best mobile game?
I'm
Yet another
dipping
one
a toe.
Horse racing. I've heard Balatro is really fun, so I imagine playing it on a phone is probably a fun experience.
This category, I'm gonna give it to Zenless Zone Zero.
Triple Z, yeah.
Is that the one? Hoyoverse. Is that the one that had like the Spider-Man web swinging in the game too? Wasn't there an anime game that was like copying all that shit? And
that
is that a different game?
It's not out yet.
Okay,
yeah,
it's not out.
Mugen.
Okay.
That I'm waiting on.
That one looks good. It really does.
I'm waiting on that one.
They are kind of stealing, but like I love to see it in a way.
Yeah, you know,
steal from the best, man. Right?
Maybe they also will get like a small fine.
Oh my god! Oh no! Not Sony and Insomniac getting in a lawsuit with Wuthering Waves. I've heard good things about. Andrew Alliance plays that one a lot. But he plays it on PC. So see, some of these games are on both,
I think like it transfers back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you can. That's what a lot of these games are doing these days. You can like go back and forth. So I'm gonna let that swing.
So we have AFK Journey, Balatro, Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket, Wuthering Waves, and Zenless Zone Zero. Now, Pokemon.
I think the only one you can't play on PC is the Pokemon Trading Card
Pokemon.
Game, right?
Okay, I was about to say that.
Emulating and then whatever. I didn't say that, but
Damn it, Jay! Demonetized again. We're good.
That's what I do.
That's so funny. I have to give it to Balatro. I downloaded that game today. I bought it on Steam for $15. I bought it on my mobile phone for $10. I'm addicted. It's a poker.
I've heard that's what happens with Balatro. It's just like you start playing, it's like shit. This is good.
It's a poker roguelike. So you unlock more decks as you lose, as a roguelike works, and you get more perks that you can start the game with an advantage. And then the jokers are like different modifiers. It could give you like a multiplier of how many points you score.
So it's like shotgun roulette or something?
I don't know, because it's like
shot roulette.
Okay, so they give you like 8 or 9 cards in your hand, and then you have to take those cards and play them on the field, and you need to form a poker hand, like a straight or a flush or something like that, right? Or pairs. But what you can do is take your hand and you can discard cards and get new cards brought in to try to give yourself a better hand, right? And you can only discard so many times, and you can only play so many hands, and you have to hit a certain score by then, and the jokers can give you like multipliers to that score. So each card has a card value, and then there's even cards that can be upgraded or modified. It gets very crazy. I would love to stream it. I don't think it's like game of the year, but like it is. The mobile experience is perfect. Like dragging the cards around, tapping on them. Having played it in both formats, PC with a mouse or a controller, and playing it on mobile, I'm addicted and I want to get better, and I keep playing, and I think that's going to be my number one like mobile game that I turn to whenever I'm in a waiting room or I'm just like chilling, waiting on some food to cook. Just whip out the phone and play this. It's really good.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
And for $10 on mobile, I'd say go for it. You know, if you're curious, $15 on Steam. That's a little steeper. I know PC gamers love to save their money. But you know, for 15, you could do a lot worse.
Winter sale was probably just around the corner, and it will probably go down to 10.
It probably will, yeah.
Autumn sale was what, this week?
And I don't know. I was worried of that. I was worried that I would buy it today and then instantly it would be on a sale after winning like some award or some BS, you know. And then but you know what? I'm happy to support them. I was curious. I wanted to be knowledgeable of it because I did see that it was Game of the Year, and I saw a lot of people saying, "You can't say bad things about Balatro, okay, unless you played it." Okay, so I played it, and it's great. It's just not Game of the Year. Anyway. Oh, fuck. Best debut indie game. Okay, wait. Did we get everyone's votes on that one? Sorry, let me go back. Did we get...
Balatro Mobile is my vote.
I went Triple Z.
Triple Z, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Best debut indie game for the best debut game created by a new independent studio. I would say, why isn't Black Myth Wukong here?
Yeah. Right.
Technically an independent studio, yeah.
They got snubbed, brother.
I've heard really good things about obviously Balatro, as well as Animal Well, and I just like the aesthetic of Pacific Drive. I have not touched it in any regard.
Same.
But yeah, I think it's between Animal Well and Balatro.
I'm going with Animal Well.
Animal Well? Okay.
I think I'm still in Balatro. I mean, that's pretty damn good for an indie game. Sorry, let me go back. I forgot to show all this on screen. Yeah, Animal Well, Balatro, Manor Lords, Pacific Drive, and The Plucky Squire. Which I'd love to play Pacific Drive. I'm with you guys on that one.
Yeah. I think I'll go with you, Jan. I'm going Animal Well as well.
Yeah. Uh-oh. What? I haven't even clicked the next category. Okay, hang on. Let me see. Oh, no. Best independent game? Is that where we're at?
Yes.
Oh, come on, man. Like, this is just the same shit all over again.
Very much the same.
God. For outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system.
I'm going UFO 50.
Okay, so
I've heard really good things about UFO 50.
Okay, so we got Animal Well, Balatro, Lorelei, and the Laser Eyes. Never! And UFO 50.
I've never heard of never.
Hang on, let's bring up UFO 50, because, like, this thing... 50 single and multiplayer games that span a variety of genres from platformers, shoot-'em-ups, puzzle games, roguelites, RPGs. Our goal is to combine a familiar 8-bit aesthetic with new ideas and modern game design. I think this wins. Because it's literally, like, you look at it, and it's trying to be so many different genres of games. This is literally, like, if you wanted to compete with this game, you'd have to buy a NES, and you'd have to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars buying several different games, you know, each with just one mechanic and one gameplay style. I mean, this is dungeon crawling. It's, you know, it's got sports games. It's got, you know, cowboy shooter games. It's got Doom likes. It's got your Space Invader type stuff, your beat 'em ups. Like, it's everything. It's creative in that way. So I think I gotta applaud him for that. Very positive, overwhelmingly positive on Steam.
Yep.
Mossmouth made it. Mossmouth, didn't they do Spelunky?
I believe so.
Yeah, Spelunky 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And I'm addicted to those games too, to be fair. UFO just because it has UFO in the title. Oh, come on! Come on, Turbo Dad.
You got me.
I think UFO 50 is a good pick.
Oh, Turbo Dad is clued in here. Are the rumors true, Shaq? Are you a Chinese spy, Lamau? I can neither confirm nor deny because, you know, my ByteDance check would be in question, you know. But I, for one, support our overlords, and I for one, really love Ubisoft and China, okay?
Credit score go up.
Yeah. Cha-ching. Oh, God, that's terrible. Okay, what do you guys think about Best Independent Game?
UFO 50.
Yeah, definitely.
Did I sell it really well, or were you just...
I've heard, like, that it's good to the point that a single game from it can capture, like, 4 to 5 hours of you playing it. And that's 1 out of 50.
That's a lot of value, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Let me make sure I have that on my wish list.
Buying those cheap game systems that have like a bunch of games on it. But these are actually good.
And it's $24.99 as well. So I mean,
there are no duplicates.
Yeah, no duplicates. Yeah. Shared split screen PvP and co-op, single player, controller support. It has remote play together on Steam, so you could technically get around the shared split screen stuff. This would be a fun game night game, yeah, just like, and for people like us that may have grown up in the retro era, have we all played like NES and SNES and, you know, Atari games? Is that fair to say?
Yeah. Still have my Genesis in the box.
Yeah, there you go. See? He never played it. No, I'm just
No, I did play it.
He's like, I never broke the seal.
My AV cables. Actually, that's why I haven't been.
Hell yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's a wrap. That did feel like a repeat category, but I'm glad we noticed UFO over there because they're really doing something different that no one else is tapping into. All right, best community support. Oof. All right, we have Baldur's Gate 3.
Recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusivity of social media activity, game updates, and patches.
So No Man's Sky?
I don't know if it's this year, because like...
Fortnite. So if it's not going to be No Man's Sky, it's got to definitely be Fortnite.
Like... What do you guys think about Helldivers 2? Or is that like a thing of they shot themselves in their own foot?
Killed it.
Yeah. They just sort of eliminated themselves out of this.
Yeah, they did that to themselves. So that's why I say either No Man's Sky or Fortnite. I would have definitely went Helldivers 2.
I think it's more Sony's fault though than Arrowhead. So yeah, this is Arrowhead's acknowledgement here of them trying to be transparent, and they are trying to fix the game, and they are still interacting with the community, and their vehicles are coming soon. They gave us the mechs. We had the Helldivers Day with the Constitution rifle with the bayonet, single shot, old school rifle. I'm still gonna give it to them because I feel like they did have that big scandal, and it was probably handled poorly, and it's not entirely their fault. But management did acknowledge that they knew that was an issue about the PSN sign-ins, and they just chose to kind of like ignore it by turning that feature off temporarily, but they knew they would have to re-enable it because it's a requirement from Sony. And notice we've seen that in Sony games since then. We've seen it in Ghost of Tsushima and God of War Ragnarok on PC, but no one got upset because it's not the same deal, right? It's not the same game. It's not the same genre, whatever the excuse may be. So some of it's poorly handled for sure.
I just don't understand the hate though for that.
Yeah. I don't either.
Because everyone has their own launcher.
Mm-hmm.
Why when Sony did it, everybody's like, "Hey, what the hell? No, what are you doing? Stop that!"
Yeah,
I don't get it. No one says that like with this sign up you must buy a PlayStation. Nobody said that.
I will probably say Fortnite, even though I have not played a lot of the most recent seasons. They've kept the game in a good state of things with all their new updates, and like they still continuously get new. The trouble is that this is community support. The next category over is ongoing, and I'm trying to split those two into two different things.
Yeah, that hurts.
All right, so I'm gonna give it to Helldivers, and then give it to them on the next one.
I would also like to point out, like, community support, transparency, and responsiveness. Why the fuck is Space Marine 2 not on this list?
Yeah, they have been... I would have voted for them, honestly.
Very honest, very transparent, and pretty, like... the honesty is the core part of, like, hey, we want more things. It's like, we do too. It takes a long time.
Yeah.
It's not easy to make more melee weapons. It's a little easier to make ranged weapons. But you want that quality, you want that seal of quality, you gotta be patient.
You gotta give us time. Yeah.
So I appreciate that transparency. I think all of their community blog posts have been just incredible. Mm-hmm. And the other thing about the mods, you want to explain that real quick? Just tap in on that.
People have been building mods for Space Marine 2, especially around like adding in, say, additional customization and, say, taking the limiter off the class piece for, say, operations mode, being able to run with 3 of the same class type if you wanted to play. Everybody plays Assault with jetpacks and Thunderhammers. The problem is, because this game has anti-cheat installed, there have been circumstances where people who have modified game files have interacted with regular folks, and regular folks have had their save files corrupted because of this. So what they're going to do is they're going to basically release a separate launcher for people playing with mods and a back-end entrance so that people who want to mod the game, even when the game gets patched, updating the mods will be easy. Because that's one of the other problems about if you play modded games is anytime they patch it, it breaks all your mods. And you have to wait for mod devs to fix it.
I wish more like companies would get into that.
Yeah, like Fallout, for example, or Conan, or anyone.
Because if you're gonna release it on PC, you know someone's gonna touch it.
Mm-hmm. Gonna fuck with it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you might as well just, and then if you try to do these things called anti-cheats, I don't know if you know this, but it's called a challenge when you do that. Like,
yeah. Dare me to break into your mainframe.
They have programs called bug bounties. So they do know these things. So I think I wish they would lean more into it in that form.
Yeah. They're following GTA. Smart choice of embracing modders, says Turbo Dad. That's also kind of true.
That's what GTA did. They bought 5M.
They bought 5M, dude. I want to see how that pans out, dude. I really want to see if GTA 6 embraces that.
Work for this one because that was too soon.
I don't know.
It's too soon.
The acquisition.
Yeah.
Like they were like 75% done when they bought that. That would cause so much reconstruction.
Well, maybe it's a later down the line update for whatever GTA 6's online component will be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So community support, I'm gonna go. My vote is Fortnite.
Yeah.
But with the additional 6 of I wish Space Marine 2 was here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to agree with that. On Space Marine. Best Ongoing, awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. We have Destiny 2, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Helldivers 2.
I say again, why is Space Marine 2 not on this list?
It should be. Because look what they've added. Look what they're planning to add.
It's literally what you said, Jay, of it is too new. There's not enough stuff out for it yet that it doesn't qualify.
Especially when this says ongoing.
Right. I guess I would say for my own personal, I would say Fortnite.
I'm gonna go Fortnite.
Yeah, because
only on the strength of they do new things every quarter.
Right, yeah.
Drastically.
I don't have a horse in the race of Helldivers 2. I missed out on the evolving pattern of stuff, both I think for worse and for at times better.
And for better, yeah.
I just got to tangentially hear about they fucked our game up.
Yeah, where they debuffed a bunch of weapons and now they're buffing them. And so now I logged in a week or two ago and now the game's fun and all the guns are there, but it's is anyone playing? It's well, I gotta call the boys back up. Everyone's gotta reinstall, or if you haven't played the game, now it's well, is now the right time to invest?
I have the space for it, so I'll download it.
Yeah, I'm game to play it. We just need to work in time because I know we love Space Marine in the schedule, and I never want it. There's always got to be a Space Marine day. Even if it's not Saturday, I think there's always got to be a day for that. Because it's such a core and fun experience. But yeah, I would love to work in a day where it's Helldivers 2, and then maybe the next day is Space Marine. Because the space station thing sounds really exciting, and I think we just finished the third phase, which means it is built now. So I don't know. And they did say that vehicles which had been leaked, there's like APCs, armored personnel carriers and stuff that are coming.
Maybe like a Jeep
and like a warthog. Yeah, there's like something like that. And of course, they've also introduced like there's some new monsters. There's some nasty looking things that we haven't seen before, and they've tuned. What was it called? The Charger. I think they tuned that one to where it's not. It has a lot of armor on its front, and then it has like an arachnid type bulb on the back, and that's going to be its weak spot. So they tuned that a little bit. I love Destiny 2, and it's had this 10-year arc where, you know, Final Shape was its end game moment. I feel like they pulled a Marvel, and they really dropped the ball. I'm still gonna play all the episodes that they're doing post Final Shape, but I'm like trying to find reasons. Not necessarily to keep playing, but that's kind of what I want to say. I'm never going to stop playing Destiny, to be fair, until like servers shut down and I can never play it again. I think I'm going to play it till it's, its last day. And there's even talks of like doing like a Destiny 1 classic, like a remake or something along those lines. And then of course you have the mobile game Destiny Rising, which is from NetEase, and some people are loving it, some are hating it because it's like a side story in a separate multiverse. I think I'm going to give it to Helldivers on this because they did a good job regardless of scandal. This is about content, right? Like when Helldivers 2 was good and they were coming out with shit, and even now that they're coming out with shit, they're still persisting. They haven't given up, and maybe a year from now this might be in the place that No Man's Sky is. Granted, they didn't flop as hard as No Man's Sky, but they could be at a point a year from now where they're delivering stuff that's like, holy crap, we're eating good, boys. But I also think Space Marine needs to be on this list next year.
Yes.
It's disappointing it's not there now, but I think next year there will be enough content out,
enough stuff,
and hopefully enough people will be like playing it. Obviously, we don't want to see that player base, kind of fall out or anything. I think they deserve it next time, if not this time.
Yeah, that's fair. For that.
All right, did we get all of our thoughts on that one, or anything else?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Games for Impact, huh?
I have not played any of these. I have seen bits and pieces of Indica.
Yeah, tell me about that one a little bit.
It's like sort of an adventure game with a bit of like horror, if not like sort of a creepy atmosphere. And I don't terribly know much else beyond seeing some of that. Like I really have no horse in any of these to pick.
Okay, so it says, for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message, we have Closer the Distance, Indica, Never, Life is Strange, Double Exposure, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, and Tales of Kenzera Zhao. Jay, did you play any of these? No?
So I'm leaning more towards Life is Strange.
I was excited for that one because that is a return to the main character from the first game, Max Caulfield.
Yeah, plays Max.
And she's obviously older now, and so it's kind of cool to see the series. They did the first game, and then they did like prequel stuff, and then they did other games with other characters, and now it's like they're coming home, and she's going to have like different powers. I just didn't have the opportunity to play it. I think the disappointing part is that it's by Deck 9, it's not by Don't Nod, so it's not the OG squad working on this, and I think that's why the reviews have kind of said like, this is great and all, but like it's just not. It's not the same sauce, dude. It would be like playing a Metal Gear game without Kojima involved. It's like if Konami just did Metal Gear Solid 6, and they're just like,
know what?
We're gonna make their own game.
I probably will never know what that feels like. Because I haven't played the last one.
It's worth, it's probably worth revisiting some of the games. Or at least the Max Caulfield games.
I played, what was it? Ground Zero, though.
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, you played Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. I thought you were talking about Life is Strange, but yeah.
I haven't played any of the Life is Strange.
Oh, okay.
Life is Strange 1
nothing but good things.
It's good.
I owned them.
I feel like Life is Strange, it does impact you on a very emotional level. Her
like
power to rewind
games,
time.
I was telling you before when you were playing Death Stranding. It's one of those games I forget I'm streaming, so it's like I gotta play it on my own time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Senua's Saga, the first game I played was really, it was like God of War kind of ish, and very thought provoking. Very much about mental health and self doubt and. The sound design was unparalleled. I just didn't hear much with Hellblade 2. It felt like it came out, it's a graphical showcase, it's gorgeous,
right?
And then it just fizzled away, and I think there were optimization issues too.
It felt like they didn't care themselves.
Yeah.
Like Microsoft was like reminding the hell out of us that it was coming soon, and then like the month before they just
didn't hype it.
I guess they didn't see the hype behind it from the masses that they was expecting because of the appeal that they got from the first one. So they were like, all right, we're already moving on to the next one. No one cares.
And with Tales of Kenzera Zhao, that is Abubakar Salim, who played Bayek in Assassin's Creed Origins. Yeah. This is his game studio, Surgeon Studios. And this game, he talked about it last year at the Game Awards. He said, this is about the death of my father. It's about healing. It's about grief. I wanted to make a game that connect with that and also tied in like African culture. And it's a Metroidvania. And it kind of reminds me of like the dialogue is like Hades, It's the characters popping up on screen and saying things and little text bubbles, but it's all voice acted and it's really well done. This game also caught a lot of drama. Wait, sorry, what did you say?
So you potentially ruined the game for me.
Why?
Because I can't beat Hades.
Oh, no, it's not. No, dude, it's not like Hades at all. I'm just saying the presentation of the way the cutscenes are done. It's like it's a art of a character, Like you just see a character drawing on screen and then text. And Hades has that too. So I'm just trying to like draw a comparison here. It's nothing about gameplay. It's more like Prince of Persia, Lost Sands or Castlevania or Metroid or something. It's 2D, 2.5D side scroller type stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love Hades. Oh my god.
It is. But it's a roguelike, so you have to lose to get better.
Yeah,
Same with Balatro, right? You gotta lose. And I wasn't okay with the first time I lost. I was like, man, this game sucks. It doesn't deserve to be Game of the Year. And then I played for like 7 hours today, or however long I played. I'm scared to look. Especially once I got on mobile, I was like, oh my god. But Tales of Kenzera is really special.
I might have messed up by not getting it on the Switch.
Which one?
Hades.
Oh, Hades.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's a good Switch game.
Hades on a Switch.
Yeah. So now you know some lore behind Zhao, and Life is Strange as well.
Zhao's the most interesting out of these for me.
Because that's still on my list. Because when he was describing it last year, I was like, I want to play it, but do I have the time?
Yeah. and I just didn't get around to it, but I'm very interested. And also, they said the music is just absolute banger. Like, it's African, like drum beats and choral music in that sense, and it's just a love letter to that type of music, you know. So
cool.
I got I think I gotta give it to them guys, you know.
Yeah. Goes out.
Tales of Kinzera. Pretty neat.
Okay. What the fuck do we do for this next category?
Oh no, innovation and accessibility.
Read the criteria. Let's go.
Yeah, let's read the criteria. Recognizing software and other hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience.
I haven't played any of the other ones.
Like, I don't terribly want to say something like a Black Ops 6 because what's the file size of a Black Ops 6? Like,
right.
That doesn't seem very accessible in terms of a file size.
But you gotta remember, you're not speaking to us. You're speaking to
the general populace,
right?
Okay, so for
I don't want to say Outlaws because your points, Aaron's, about how they just updated it to completely rip out a core feature.
Yeah, that's not accessibility.
That might be expanding the amount of people who can play it or want to play it, but also diminishing the amount of people who are interested in it because of that feature.
I've never heard of a patch that removed the mechanic.
Yeah, or made it optional.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in Veilguard. I'm not interested in Diablo 4. Guess my only option is Prince of Persia.
I'm trying to get like a list of like what is it that Prince of Persia customizable controls, that's always good. Difficulty, platform assist option.
Oh, okay.
Rookie mode. Rookie difficulties for people that have never played a Metroidvania. Dodge window is long. Parry difficulty is easy. I mean, yeah, we do have to consider that sometimes things related to difficulty can sometimes lend itself to accessibility. With Call of Duty, you have asymmetrical hearing compensation. If you hear better out of one ear than the other, for example. Customizable high contrast settings, which means if you're kind of like partially blind, you could make the enemies glow bright red and the good guys blue or something. Last of Us has that as well. Intelligent movement, HUD presets, arachnophobia settings, so you can literally just make the spiders like floating blobs, which they still look scary. They still do, even if it's a floating blob, dude. Those spiders and zombies are terrifying. Pause and save in zombies. I have to say that's an accessibility option that's good for everybody because we can't be leaving consoles and PCs on for like 10 days until the boys can get back together and finish the save, or if you're playing solo. So, I don't know. What do you guys feel on that one? Are you still pulling for Prince of Persia, or?
I think Prince of Persia, like that list of features, sounds like a nice set of additions for making that game more accessible to people who are interested in the game but don't have the experience with roguelike games.
Yeah.
That'd be my vote.
I don't know. Star Wars Outlaws removing all stealth is pretty accessible. That's so messed up, dude. I hate it. You gotta think, isn't it kind of an accessibility feature? It's a big one. Nah, we can't give them that. That's a meme. That's a meme vote. All right, best performance. All right, what do we have here, gamers? Awarded to an individual for voiceover acting, motion, and/or performance capture. We have Brianna White from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. She's Aerith, right?
Aerith, yeah.
Okay. Hannah Tell from Life is Strange Double Exposure. I guess she's Max, I assume?
Max, yeah.
Humberly Gonzalez. And she's gorgeous, dude. And she's Star Wars Outlaws. She's the main character. So a lot of people are upset that they didn't give her looks to the main character. I don't know. It's
right, that they didn't scan her into the game.
And then there's
the thing, like, it looks close enough to her to not even think about it.
It is, but she also her eyes look a little dead in the game. Like it looks like they intentionally made her look ugly.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, that's the weird thing that they went with.
I get that she needs to look rugged and kind of like poor and like a scoundrel thief. You know, she can't be like Stellar Blade gorgeous here, but you know, at least like capture some of her looks, you know? Okay, anyway, moving on. Luke Roberts for Silent Hill 2, he's James Sunderland. Melina Jurgens, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, of course she is Senua.
And I'm gonna give it to her because mocap.
And she has won it before.
Mm-hmm.
She won it when she was up for Senua 1.
Yep, and I'm gonna give it to her again.
I'm gonna give it to her again.
I'm gonna say Luke.
Yeah.
Because you pulled off the hardest thing in the world, which was to play James again and not fuck it up.
Yep. And the emotional depth.
I will also throw in a bone of why is Titus not nominated in here? Because he's not, like, the guy who plays Titus is the voice and the facial capture and the body capture for Titus. He's all three. Or even Gadriel or Chiron. Neither of them. Like the perfect vote is 6th category, the 3 main characters from the Space Marine 2 campaign. But my vote would be Luke.
I gotta go with Luke as well because he captured the emotion, the voice, the face. I mean, it delivered in a way that the technology in 2001 just couldn't. So I love that extra depth that this game has. The original is still the best and really powerful and worth playing, but like this one is great to bring new fans in and to really just teach people that, like, dude, games can be art. Like this game will rip your heart and soul out and make you cry. And I believe he owned it in every respect. I mean, there were scenes, I think even just the opening sequence, I was already tearing up. Like it was rough for me because I know what's gonna happen, but like at the same time, just like hearing those words spoken again and seeing the detail and the look on his face, and I'm just like, oh, dude, I'm gonna lose it. So I don't know. I don't think a game this year has impacted me on an emotional level the way this one has.
Oh, hell yes.
And I think that has a lot to do with the actors. And it helps that they have a really damn good story as a baseline. Like it's a little harder to create a good Silent Hill game from scratch at this point, which is probably what might be next if there's not more remasters.
Mm-hmm.
Best audio design. Is that where we're at now?
Yes.
Recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design, we have Astrobot, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2. Senua's Saga does have those whispers in your ear. I mean, it really has some... And Call of Duty is always good. I don't know about Astrobot.
For the controller.
Yeah, the controller has additional feedback.
Additional feedback in audio.
Playing the game.
Yeah, to make it feel like you're in the world. Silent Hill 2 is also very, very immersive in terms of sound design.
I'm going to say Silent Hill 2. That's my vote.
I'm going with Silent Hill.
Yeah. I'm on the Silent Hill 2 train here. Because I did have my headset on the whole time, and there were times where I was genuinely either looking behind me in real life or looking behind me in the game, because sometimes audio or those sneaky mannequins would just, I'd hear them shuffle around, or you'd hear the nurses like groaning or something, or moaning in the background. You'd be like, I thought I was alone in this room, dude. Like,
what the fuck?
Turbo Dad says hands down Silent Hill. He also said Diablo for me. I think that was back in the community.
Oh, maybe
was it community support?
Maybe for accessibility. I'm not sure.
Forget which one that was. No, it wasn't community. Yeah, it was somewhere back there. All right, so we're on to best score and music, huh?
Score and music.
For outstanding music, inclusive of score, original song, and/or licensed soundtrack, we have Astrobot, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor, Refantasio, Silent Hill 2, and of course Stellar Blade. With that Korean pop, am I right, gamers?
Yo, that slaps.
It really does. I'm not a.
Yo, I'm not even trying to be funny, man.
I don't even like that kind of music, and now I'm in. They got me.
Like, I'm sold. I listened to that OTS OST so many times.
And to be fair, like, Rebirth has, the Final Fantasy VII iconic soundtrack going for it.
Right.
So it's got a lot there, baseline. And same with Silent Hill 2. Akira Yamaoka literally made like the
coming back and making new shit.
Yeah, not only did he remake the original stuff, which is iconic, so once again it's touching on that same thing, but he also came back and did a lot of new stuff. And I think that is he talked about it, and it's kind of a real challenge for an artist to revisit something like 20 years later in your life, where your skills have grown, your point of view, the way you think about music has probably changed a lot at that point. So he really appreciated that challenge, and he was excited to do more. I don't know, I feel like with that type of a story to it and that attention to detail, I think that really pulls me in, even though I really love the vibes that Stellar Blade has. Like, as you're roaming around, it'll play some K-pop until you're like in a boss fight or something. Or is it J-pop? Is it K-pop or J-pop?
K-pop.
Yeah, it's J-pop.
Yeah,
I've been
Korean dev, yeah.
Korean dev. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a tough one, dude.
I'd say Silent 2, but that's just my personal take.
That's where I'm at. The sound design, just everything overall on that was flawless for me. And if we had best horror game or best remake, I think they'd win it.
Yep.
I'd give it to them too.
Now.
Wow. Okay. We're getting down to the last four here. Best art direction. You want to tell us what we have here, Andrew?
Yeah, so for outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design and animation, Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree, Metaphor, Metaphor, and Neva. So I've seen Neva is very much the independent art game of this year. From all the stuff that I've seen, this is potentially the category that it might win.
Yeah.
Just because it's like the core of the game is make it look very nice to look at.
It is
very artsy game.
It's a very artsy game. I can also see Astrobot winning this as well, because
I was gonna go Black Myth.
There's some really nice stuff to it. I have not seen enough of Black Myth to like talk about the art direction of it. The only one of these I've actually played and put lots of time into is Shadow of the Erd Tree, And it has some, like, the environment design of Shadow of the Erdtree is really cool. I really like it. I don't know if it's, like, best art direction worthy. I think there's probably a better candidate in here, but out of personal experience, I will say Shadow of the Erdtree.
What about you, Jay?
I'm gonna go never.
Never!
Just because it's like it truly goes to the category it's in.
Right.
I'm gonna go with Black Myth Wukong on this one, and I'll kind of explain. So,
I think Black Myth is gonna win,
and it might. And
I think it's gonna win that one.
It's, you know, it's got the characters from Zubache, who is like half. What was he, like a half? What am I thinking of here? Warthog type animal, and Wukong, or the Destined one, who we play as, is a monkey, and you just have like this sprawling environments from like Chinese mythology, and it does sort of feel like a Souls game in the way that you're going from environment to environment, and you know, you can see the area that you're either going to or coming from in the distance. You know, you kind of get that. So while it's not a Souls-like, we've debated this aggressively, it's really more of an action game, or a Sekiro-like would be the proper term. But it does have a lot of like mechanics of a Souls-like, and it, you know, it's got the souls, it's got the skill tree and the level up.
Still the same genre.
And the boss fights, but it's not quite a Souls-like. You don't lose your souls when you die, right?
No, well, when I say that, because like Souls is like its own genre these days.
True.
Right.
I agree.
I would put that in its own subgenre because Sekiro is in that genre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're also seeing a lot of games that are like Sekiro and are less, like, I would argue Stellar Blade is a Sekiro-like rather than a Souls-like.
Right.
Yeah. So it's very interesting. I don't know if everyone will agree with using the term Sekiro-like, or...
So I'd say Sub-Soul.
Yeah. A Sub-Soul-like, yeah.
Yeah, Sub-Soul.
We're getting very complicated with our with our genres here. It's gonna get like music, where there's just like so many ridiculous genres. You don't know what to call anything. It's Oh, dude, you don't listen to like Afro-Colombian rock, like, you know. Okay, so yeah, I gotta give it to Wukong because I am just, every time I step into that world, I'm just spellbound by the music, the lore, the environment that I'm in, and I think art direction has a lot to do with that. So if they sweep in every category that they're in, I wouldn't be surprised, and I would be also rather thankful. I think it would be really cool. I think they would deserve it, because it's crazy that they came out of nowhere with this game, and they could have just made like a pretty game, and we would all just agree like, oh, it's just a gorgeous game. It's Unreal Engine 5, but the game sucks, you know? But they literally cooked in every facet, I feel.
Yeah.
Oof. So cool how they transition from animal to human-like form. Yeah. All of his different transformations and stuff that he can do. You can transform into different bosses that you've defeated. You can also transform into like birds or dogs or flies or inanimate objects and stuff, you know. He's a bit of a trickster, that Wukong. He's super OP, man. So best narrative is next, huh?
Yeah.
For outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game, what do we have here?
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Metaphor, Senua Saga, Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2. Best narrative.
I want to say Silent Hill 2, but I feel like Metaphor is
going
to win.
They might. Has anyone played Metaphor? Is that...
No, it's not my wheelhouse.
On your bag?
Yeah.
I kind of wish we had someone that could speak for that.
Yeah,
because I hear a lot online.
Earlier, right? Is Phil still in here?
Who? What?
Phil? He was in the chat earlier. Phil the Void.
Oh,
that's his wheelhouse.
Yeah, he hasn't talked since Arcane. Yeah, he might be lurking. First time hearing about Metaphor. Yeah, Metaphor has some hype online and some big fans. It's Atlas. It's Persona.
It's that Persona crowd.
Got a lot of fans there. Is it? I don't know. It feels a little weird that like there's 2 remakes here and they're literally just kind of,
why is there
pulling
not
from a
best
pre-existing
remake
story.
category?
Yeah, there really should be a remake category. Because, like, should it be the best new narrative, or should it be the best interpretation of a previous narrative that's already really freaking good? But I will argue that Silent Hill 2...
a weak category? It sounds good on paper, but then you're also opening the floodgates for lack of innovation.
Well, those floodgates are already open, sadly.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying.
And remakes are good. They can be good, but they can also be bad,
Right.
Where nobody wants to make new games anymore because it's cheaper to just remake our old games. Look at how Naughty Dog hasn't made a new game in like 7 years? 7 years since Last of Us 2. Yeah, they're just doing remake after remake of every game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think I gotta give it to Silent Hill 2 because they not only took a great narrative and did well with it, but they brought something new to the table. I think they introduced enough new segments to the game and new dialogue and new areas that I think the narrative really benefited from all the secrets and all the puzzles and fun stuff. Yeah, really knocked it out of the park for sure. Best game direction is next, huh?
Awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. We have Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Shadow of the Erd Tree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor.
I'm gonna go with Metaphor on this one.
I'm gonna say either Black Myth or honestly Balatro. Because I think, just like, because when you look at this sentence of outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design, in creating an interesting game, to me, that is either Black Myth or Balatro.
Yeah, Balatro took poker and leveled it up, like gave it a whole new perspective.
I would have to see it.
Mm-hmm.
I wish we had played more of these games on this list, to be fair.
Right. Yeah.
Do you not feel that Elden Ring has
that's my obvious
game
DLC.
Yeah.
That's my obvious choice, but I'm just gonna be random
it's not a new thing. It's an addition to something that is already great. It's a great expansion, but it's not a new outstanding idea. It's a idea that they've been working on continuously over the last decade or so, continuously adding to and enhancing, but it's not an it's not an outstanding innovation.
I would say that the initial game might be
turn in the cog,
Mm-hmm.
It's still really good, but it's not. I don't think it should get best game direction.
I'm with Black Myth on this one.
That's fair. Yeah.
It really is that freaking good.
Yep.
I mean, the boss fights keep you guessing, the lore of the world, never knowing what's going to happen next. You're always on your toes. The ability to respec. It's definitely taking Souls-like and action games and merging it together into this weird amalgamation, but it's really perfect. And I feel like the only complaint people have is invisible walls. And it's like, I'm like, dude, have you like not played a video game in the last 20 years? Like, are you spoiled by just, open world games that have like such wide borders that you almost never run into those invisible walls unless you really seek them out? So it's like, if you were a kid in the 2000s, like you knew all about invisible walls. You knew about non-invisible walls walling you in, like game developers designing environments in a way that you were just walking down narrow hallways into large circular rooms so you could fight a boss,
Mm-hmm.
And Black Myth Wukong gives you the art and the direction of, yeah, you may be roaming the woods and it's semi-open world and maybe there's a few cliffs you can't jump off or what have you, but they don't want you to go there, and it kind of makes sense from game dev design.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a focus story. They want you to stick to that hub world, more or less. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd give it to him. I love Balatro, but dude, it's just good at being what it is. It's very good at being this evolution of poker, which I never thought we'd see. I never thought we'd see games that try to evolve what solitaire is and turn it into like that one game that turned it into like a campaign experience of solitaire. I keep forgetting what it's called, but Balatro does some really cool stuff, and I'm super addicted to it. But is it like game direction? Does it feel like there was this big creative vision of an overarching story and all these gameplay mechanics playing into all of it? And is it reinventing the wheel in terms of innovation? No, it plays like every other card game, to be fair. But with, obviously roguelike mechanics, which is really cool, but that's nothing new, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm going Elden Ring.
Oh, you went from metaphor to Elden Ring. All right, you got to tell us why. You got to give us something on that. What do you think?
Because I called it day one as it being nominated.
Oh, you just want to be right. You don't even want to. Really, you don't even want to like defend your choice. When we first
started playing that first week, I was like, "This is gonna be game of the year." And everybody's like, "A DLC." I was like, "Yes."
And we literally all thought, oh, maybe they'll just make a DLC category, because honestly, there's enough games that get DLC. But no, they're kind of doing what they did with Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty, where they're like, they see an exception to the rule, and then they work it in.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like cheating, right? It feels weird to pull a DLC in. It's really good. It's a really good DLC. But does it deserve to be in the conversation of like best, game of the year, all these other things compared to other full games? Yeah. Did Phantom Liberty deserve that treatment? I don't think so.
They just need a DLC category.
And Phantom Liberty was nominated for best ongoing game. And it's not an ongoing game. They literally stopped making the more content after that. So it's not an ongoing game. Destiny or somebody else should have won, Somebody else that was actually, like No Man's Sky or something, knocking it out of the park with their stuff. So, I am a little peeved that Elden Ring was introduced the way it is, even though I love it, dude, and even though it's great. It's so good. I don't know why Balatro's up here, dude. Like, they really should.
So it's like in here, man.
It's like, really in a lot of categories, dude. There is
let's also
some
talk
bias
about
here.
How Helldivers 2 and Space Marine 2 are not here.
Yeah. I feel like that slot got stolen, brother.
At least Helldivers, like that.
Yeah.
And I wish we had someone to speak for Metaphor, because, like, is it really that good that it's in so many different categories?
It's a Persona game.
No, I get that angle,
Persona,
but like, it just came out a few weeks ago. Yeah, automatically though.
Have you not seen a Persona game in this category?
I guess it's kind of like Zelda, how it always kind of gets pushed up there. It's automatic in a way. But I know Zelda enough to know that, like, holy crap, this is a labor of love. I don't know Metaphor or Persona in the same level.
Yeah, and that's why I don't have much to say like, whether bad or good. So I leave it alone. I'm like,
Space Marines
I
needs
just
to
don't
be
know.
up there, says Turbo Dad. Yeah.
Yeah. My personal pick for Game of the Year that is not here is Space Marine 2.
Yeah.
It is the game that I had the most fun playing that was released this year.
Yeah.
I don't think Shadow of the Erdtree should win Game of the Year because it's not a full fucking game. It's an expansion to a very good game. It is a very good expansion. It is not a full fucking game.
Right.
Give it to Black Myth.
Yeah.
Of these options, Black Myth is the best option.
Let me ask you one more question. Do you like Elden Ring more than Shadow of the Erdtree?
Base game Elden Ring versus Shadow of the Erdtree.
Sure.
And
not including like weird tuning or patches, like just the experience, right? Like just the, you know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And it's difficult because Shadow of the Erdtree is very much, I think of it as like greatest hits version of Elden Ring, where we took all the good things and made them even better. Like, you gave me a reason to hunt after materials and collectibles. You gave me an opportunity to get smithing stones really easily. You gave me basically the best versions of many different kinds of bosses. Like, you gave me the best version of the dragon boss. You gave me some of the best versions of the 1v1 duel. Like, yeah, it is the greatest hits version of Elden Ring, but it is a companion piece. You need base game Elden Ring to enjoy Shadow of the Erdtree. You need that experience in the base game of going through those trials and then getting to, like, it's the true end game of the game. It's the last chunk of it. There's story components that go back and forth. There's build components in terms of building up your character that you have to do in the base game, then go test yourself against the DLC. You need base game Elden Ring to enjoy Shadow of the Erdtree.
Yeah, to be fair, you can't just load up the DLC. You have to be one of the hardest fucking
Mog Lord of Blood.
Yeah, and he's hidden, dude. He's
You want this?
He ain't easy to
go
find.
for it.
Yeah.
So
that's a really good. I really like your explanation. I feel like that almost explains why it shouldn't be here.
Yes,
because it's a companion piece.
It's the best.
It's incredible
companion piece. It's the best expansion of the year, and it is possibly some of the best Souls content ever made. It is not Game of the Year.
Oof. And he says that with like hundreds of hours in it. By the way, like the DLC, like not even the main game, like just the DLC. This man's been all over it, dude. You think we've been all over it because you've watched us play it on the channel, but Andrew has been leveling up outside of us, and he's been helping other people, and then he comes in and helps us with his ridiculous characters. So
no, it's very good. I don't think it's a Game of the Year because it's not a full experience without base game Elden Ring.
True.
So it is not a full game.
True indeed.
Yeah. So I'm saying Black Myth. Like, Black Myth is Game of the Year. Even though I have not played it,
I need you to play it, man. I need you to play it someday. There's so much, like, lore wise. I feel like we could make a podcast if both of us knew enough of the lore and finished the game. We could probably just like talk about that for hours.
Yeah,
I probably won't be touching that until the spring.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point here because I mean, you went back to Stellar Blade and you were like, I want to finish this, and you're like, I'm not touching Wukong yet because you know how insurmountable like this is an 80-hour game or more. Like I'm already 80, 90 hours in, and I'm like, I don't know how far I am. I don't care how far I am.
Blade, I'm like taking my time.
Yeah, you want to enjoy these games, man. You don't want to rush them. So, where do you stand, Jay? What do you think of this Game of the Year list here?
Oh, I clicked Elden Ring.
Just disregard everything Andrew said. No, go ahead.
I totally agree with him.
No, you agree.
I totally agree. With him. And I want to go Black Myth, right?
Okay.
But I'm gonna stand on what I said.
He wants to be right.
He wants to be right. Oh my god.
I'm gonna stand on what I said. I was like, yo, watch this be Game of the Year. And everybody's like, nah, it's a DLC, and everybody can see the joke. I'm like, well, now look at where we at now. Look at us. Just look at us.
The prophecy vote and the meme vote has been cast.
Yeah, that's my one meme vote for the year.
is the biggest one that, seems to matter the most to people. But oof. I gotta give it to Wukong, man.
It should not be here.
Yeah, it shouldn't be here. So you agreed with everything he said, and you're still
totally agree with it.
You're just like, no, I gotta be right. And you genuinely enjoyed the game, though, because let's think about your perspective here. You were new to the genre as a whole, and you're new to Elden Ring, and we've been guiding you throughout this whole journey, and you've gotten you beat him. You beat the final boss.
Addicted to the point is where I've moved on to other Souls game.
Go to Demons, yeah.
Yeah, you went to Demons, so. That's huge. I think that adds to your vote and your story here. That's leading into why you're a newcomer who is enjoying this journey, and you did a lot.
Say that actually, Elden Ring has had the biggest impact in gaming for me in years. Honestly,
why is that?
Because it's a genre. It's a brand new genre to me. So it's like something I've always been, I guess, fairly decent with games that had some type of difficulty. But this was like a whole new level of difficulty I've never been a part of. And I've gotten pretty far on my own until I needed help.
Yeah.
Like substantially far, as you guys explained to me, on my own.
You did really good, man. And TX is also doing really good for Elden Ring being his first entry in that type of world, and he was doing pretty good solo as well. But yeah, I think I have played Balatro, I've played Black Myth, I've played Elden Ring, I played a little bit of Rebirth. And I've played a lot of other games that we've talked about this year that have been really notable, right? But Black Myth Wukong was the one that I knew, like, minutes or hours in, I was like, this is Game of the Year.
Oh, definitely.
Like, just personally, and just like the way I felt. Like, I had chills on my neck and on my shoulders, and I was just like, ooh, this just feels like we're back, dude. Like, this is a game. This is a video game, man. Like, and I think Space Marine delivers that in some ways too. We felt like these games are like a return to like what gaming should be, where it focuses on good graphics, good gameplay, good story, good music. And it takes you to a world
fun to play.
And it takes you to a world that you've never been to before. Warhammer takes you to this insane universe, and Wukong takes you to Chinese mythology. Most of us don't know shit about Chinese mythology. It's spellbounding to be involved in.
Too.
Yeah.
Well, because I dipped my toe in Darktide, but we didn't really play too much.
Sure.
But like, I fell in love with
the Warhammer. Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. I wish that was on there. I would have took it.
Yeah.
Darktide was dope. Yeah.
But yeah, Black Myth.
Yeah, I think I'm all for Black Myth on this one. It just
yeah, good choice. Good choice.
And it's the more I read the lore and I listen to the lore and I want to read Journey to the West. There's some American English translations.
I want to watch the movie though.
Yeah, they have movies too.
The Jet Li movie. Oh man.
Yeah. The music hits you, and I just love learning about the mythology. It's just unlike any other mythology that's out there. And the deeper you dive in, you read about the different enemies as you defeat them, and it's like you're reading a fairy tale, and there's like a little moral to the story. It's like one of Aesop's fables or something. You're just reading, and it just adds to the lore of all this mythology that I'm not super familiar with, and so it feels like I'm really, everything else I'm familiar with. I know Lord of the Rings. I know enough about Warhammer, but it still feels like I'm being transported to another world. But with Wukong, it's like, it really feels like I'm this is isekai stuff, right? Like I'm way out of my zone, dude. Like you pulled me out and this is nowhere I'm familiar with. This is not Christian or Greek mythology or Japanese or any other stuff that most Western cultures are pretty familiar with. That's what makes it so special. It's just so well done, and it's a labor of love. And it could have just been a gorgeous game that was shitty to play. Just looks pretty but runs like crap and poorly optimized, and or maybe it had a few things going for it. But I feel like it literally excels in every way.
Aspect. Yeah.
So that's the dub for me.
Now, I want to add in an additional category here of what do you think is getting announced at the Game Awards?
Switch 2.
Oh, that's a bold one, Jay. That's a bold one. That is bold.
Do you think they will save the GTA 6 trailer for the Game Awards, or will Rockstar just release it on its own? Now that we are out of the phases of
Rockstar releases it on its own.
Yeah, they always do it that way, and I think they will. I wouldn't be surprised if it showed up, but I wouldn't guarantee it.
I'd be more surprised if I did see it.
Yeah.
If I was to see it, yeah, I'd be surprised. Like, oh, okay, weird, but okay. Wouldn't be a first.
Right.
But it's weird because they done Red Dead like that.
Because I have two.
Okay.
I have two ideas. One is more of a safe bet, and the other is just a complete out there pick. The safe bet is another trailer for Monster Hunter Wilds where they show off either a new monster or returning monsters. Because the game's coming out in, I think, February, so they'll use it as an opportunity to get just a bit more boosted hype, even though people are pretty active and excited for it already. My out of left field pick is Firaxis finally comes out of their cave and says, "Hey, XCOM 3."
Oh my god, that would be so dope, though. I'm with you there. Yeah. Oh my god.
It's not gonna happen, but if it does, like you won't be able to shut me up.
I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't blame you. If that's all you want to talk about, you go from Space Marine 2 to you won't shut up about XCOM.
I had
so long.
My idea doesn't fit for the time though.
Let's hear it. What's your long shot?
Series of the generation. The reason why I say it doesn't work for the time because of the release windows of the game.
Where we're at, yeah.
Geoff was talking about that, of like a game of the generation type awards or things like that. He said it was really difficult, and he said they're looking into it, but it's just like we haven't done it before, so there's no precedent, and it would just be like, how do we make sure it's fair?
Too difficult.
Yeah, that's a little too crazy. Maybe a lifetime achievement award for like a game for like Kojima. Give it to him, 10 years from now or something, whatever. I don't know. And there's probably multiple directors that you could probably give that to.
Like that
you could be like, holy crap, what a life you've lived creating, this game. Maybe Miyamoto wins it one year.
Or name that award after Kojima.
Yeah, the Kojima Life Achievement Award. They're such buddy. He probably would do something like that. They are just like
I think
best
anybody
friends.
would, though, given the moment.
Yeah. For sure.
Because he is like kind of the director of a generation.
Let's see.
Multiple generations, actually.
Yeah, I mean, the Metal Gear games were huge over generations, and he's obviously expanding to movies and, horror games now. OD and Death Stranding is building out, and a potential movie. Even Kojima Productions finally owning the rights for Death Stranding, which makes me wonder, will Death Stranding 2 be multi-platform at launch? Since they bought the rights from Sony, they're not indebted to launch it only on PlayStation first.
How does everyone is cool with Kojima except for Konami?
Yeah, I kind of want to. I wish I could be a fly on the wall. I'd love to know what really happened.
Because everyone else is like, oh, that's Kojima. Yeah, let him get it. It was like, Sony
I love Kojima. I'm a huge fan.
His game, yeah. If it was anyone else,
Now, if he would get Metal Gear Solid back, that would be dope. But
that would be
Konami would never.
Dream. I think
they've got to fail. I think they've got to fail and lose a shit ton of money on trying to make a new Metal Gear game. Like, not remake, but like when they actually try to make a new one and fail. Yeah. I think they need to fail and then realize, oh shit, we can't do it without him. Let's see if he'll buy it.
Delta has to fail.
I don't want Delta to fail. I really don't. No, I love it too much, dude.
I want Delta to fail.
No, I don't want Delta to fail.
You don't want it to fail, but you need it to fail.
Now, Metal Gear Survive it failed, and it, I think it proves something.
That's the point. Because
you can't do a zombie Metal Gear.
Consecutive failures. You need 2 to 3 consecutive.
Kojima could have made Metal Gear Survive work. I think he could have written it in a way and justified it as like a game mode or something, or did it in a way where it's like, hey, this is one of my weird Metal Gear offshoots, and he does like a COD Zombies with respect to Metal Gear Solid.
If they wouldn't
it's a what if scenario.
Public, it would have did fine.
Yeah. If they were like, oh, by the way, Kojima made this before we kicked him out the door.
yeah, they didn't make it.
But it was because we were all pissed and the wound was fresh. We were like, fuck you, I'm not going to support this shit.
We bought that game to hate on it.
Yeah.
A lot of people bought it just to return it, just so it can look bad.
That's some special hate there. Let me give you my long shots. I've got some predictions that are pretty solid, and then I have some long shots. Okay, let me start with predictions. Let's be in rational, non-tinfoil hat land for a minute. I think rational things is that we might see a lot of Marvel and DC games revealed. We saw the Blade game from Arcane Leon was revealed last year.
Updates to stuff that has been revealed, yeah.
Exactly. There's the Black Panther game from Cliffhanger. There's the Iron Man. Yeah, the Iron Man game from EA's Motive Studio, who did the Dead Space remake. Wonder Woman from Monolith, which has the Nemesis system. Like, that's the biggest one. Something needs to happen on that this year, and this is the best time for that to happen.
If nothing happens this year, I believe it's getting.
I'd be concerned. So yeah, and maybe the Captain America Black Panther game from Skydance, which is Amy Hennig's studio.
Looks good though.
Yeah, it looks incredible. It'd be nice to see updates from all that. Of course, Death Stranding 2 might get additional footage or something. Wouldn't be surprised, Kojima's like that. The wild stuff. Okay, the wild stuff. I always hold in my back pocket, and I know no one's working on it at this point logically, but I always think a Superman game's coming this year. I'm always like, every year, I'm disappointed. I'm like, oh, Rocksteady's doing it or WB's doing it. Either one of the studios. I'm always waiting, and I'm always disappointed every year.
I'm gonna be right with you once Wonder Woman releases.
Yeah. And look, you have a new Superman movie on the way. You're rebuilding the DC universe. You know, the Batman Arkham series, I would say, is rather concluded, although you're going back and doing, like, prequels right now, it seems. And Suicide Squad kind of flopped, but...
Superman is a pride and joy of Warner Brothers.
Yeah, and if they pull him off, dude...
afraid to ruin that.
Yeah, they can't afford to flop it, and that's what's so scary, but it's... We've never had such great technology to pull off a Superman game, and I think that indie game Undefeated is showing that the game is possible. It's just you just don't want to do it.
They've been, because didn't that come out like 2013 or something like that?
Yeah, I think they technically have a sequel now. Yeah, that's in production. Whereas the first game was more of a tech demo type school project.
Just showing that a Superman game can be
done, yeah.
That was the whole premise of that.
And the new game really combines like kind of a Dragon Ball mixed with like Superman type thing. Okay, and then my other one, which also feels like a long shot, is that Splinter Cell remake. It's been announced. They've shown concept art, but we haven't seen gameplay. We haven't seen like a teaser. We haven't heard the Michael Ironside's voice say, you know, like, I'm back on the mission, and then the goggles chirp, you know, and come on.
Yeah, so that's what you're expecting, or you're expecting a full-on like trailer?
I think at the very least give us a teaser like I described. But yeah, maybe long shot would be like give us a gameplay trailer or some sort of CG cutscene, you know, like Assassin's Creed does. They always give you a CG scene for their first trailer, and then the second trailer is always like a gameplay deep dive. It might just be too early in development.
I think they will like hide it. Like they'll announce a game and then they'll do, like you said, have like the chirp of the goggles with like maybe a season. It'll be like
holiday 2026. Yeah.
Spring 2026.
I would take it, dude. I just need to know it's not like lost in some development hell or canceled or whatever. It's just been radio silent for a bit. Yeah, it's not canceled, but it has been radio silent for a while, and it would be nice to just see something.
I always like to take those as a good sign.
Yeah.
Until someone starts to talk negative about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you talk negative about it, it snowballs, and then shareholders hear it, and then once they hear it, they start to pull money, and then you lose the game.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
you don't want to
jump the gun early about doubt, and then it builds negativity around it. It snowballs, and then them shareholders hear about it, and they start pulling funding.
And I think a lot of why they announced it so early is to get developers on board, you know? To get more people on the team that would, you know, lovingly craft and remake the first game in a way that's respectful and also cognizant of we live in the modern day, and you have to bring these mechanics into a modern era stealth game and evolve the game
like this with a stack of papers. Like, look, guy in chair, all these people are acquiring about positions.
Mm-hmm.
We need more money.
We need more money. Yeah, that's another reason why we get reveals so early on.
Mm-hmm. That's not to tell you they're making a game. That's a recruitment video.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't get that. I constantly see people on Twitter whining about, why did they reveal the Wolverine game 6 years ago and we haven't seen anything? It's like, yeah, because they need to recruit. You need good talent to make a good game.
Right. Like, you want one studio to make
every Marvel game
in 1 year.
Yeah.
With a small dev team. Like, okay.
Right?
That's a very bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to buy the game at a discount? Come on.
Ugh.
Be fair.
Rushed out crap. Yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, I guess that's my, my crazy things. I always expect a crazy thing like Superman, but now Splinter Cell can also be kind of my wild pitch where I hope we at least get something on it if Ubisoft has a presence at all. And I'd be curious about
another one.
Yeah,
I don't know the one.
Yeah, go.
Super like pie in the sky. Electronic Arts brings back EA Big.
Damn.
That's too good of an idea. They would never think of something like that. Remember when EA used to challenge everything?
SSX.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Or Tricky Remastered.
Yeah.
Tricky Remastered.
Yeah. That would be a banger idea. But instead, they'll probably just reveal a new Battlefield.
That's already coming out.
Yeah, it's already on the way. We know it's happening. But yeah, back to basics, reinventing what made the series great.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Because they said that with 42, so I don't know.
Yeah. You can only use that excuse so many times where you're like, all right, guys.
One more. You messed this up. You're dead.
No, we heard you this time. No, please.
You're dead.
It looks like Player's Voice opens round 1 December 2nd, round 2 December 5th, and round 3 December 9th. So we'll be doing the Player's Voice, which are specifically only for nominees that are for the players to vote. There's no jury impact on those.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool.
I wanted that to be live, though.
I'm excited, though. I mean, there's always really cool stuff that they reveal.
Yeah, there's always at least something cool that they show.
Yeah, Crimson Desert even. I'm glad we've seen an update to more gameplay on that because they showed it a few years ago and I was getting a little concerned and then they showed it at Summer Game Fest.
Oh.
Yeah, you remember that one?
That's the one. I wasn't going to say Crimson Desert. The other thing that I want like more footage for is I want footage and a release date for Dune Awakening.
Yeah. Actually, that wouldn't be unusual.
That's not that far out of scope to happen.
Yeah. And they're showing a lot on like Twitter and they're doing their own like dev diaries, but like, yeah, we need something like real at the Game Awards to like
give me a date.
Yeah. Get a date and get fans just super excited cuz isn't part 2, I think it like dropped on HBO recently, so it's like you have both movies out.
Yeah.
Like the hype can be there for a game because people will watch the movie and they'll be like, "Oh shit, there's a game on the way? Sick!" That's a good one for sure. But yeah, Crimson Desert. It was good to see more on that and know that it's still alive and well. And it looks very ambitious. Graphics look really good. The gameplay kind of reminds me a little bit of Dogma, but maybe mixed with like some Witcher type stuff, since you're playing as like one character, one protagonist, not creating someone. And it also brings in like Tears of the Kingdom with like weird puzzle solving and sky islands and skydiving and stuff like that. Yeah, pretty neat. Lots of exciting reveals. I also hope that they handle the show a little better. I think we've had a few years like with Christopher Judge where he just ran away with the longest speech ever, and then there were like other devs that kind of got like snubbed. They were like, all right, play him off, and then you had the obviously the sign that was like, please wrap it up. I just hope they give people time. I mean, I understand it's a show with commercials and ads and trailers, and that's the major appeal for most people. But I think what DICE and all the other award shows do is they focus more on the art, and they let the people talk. And we need what the Oscars does. The Oscars can be boring as hell sometimes, but like they do have those moments where they focus in on the art and the craft, and they give you the behind the scenes, and they show footage of each movie, you know, to sort of like refresh your memory and show you like notable scenes of like, hey, this is the emotional depth of this movie, and this is why it's at the Oscars, why it's nominated, or here's a slice of some music, this is why it's nominated. I feel like the Game Awards is it doesn't scratch that deep under the surface. So I wish they would change. I don't think they will. I think you're going to have to turn to other award shows if you really want, you know, like was it Golden Joystick and DICE and other ones, if you want more depth into the art of game design. Because I wish you could do that. I wish you could have little breaks during the show where it would be like, and now we're at, you know, I keep using Kojima, but like, and now we're at Kojima Productions watching, you know, how the game was made, and, you know, you watch them do some motion capture, you watch dudes typing on computers and doing art and level design and stuff, and they maybe do like a 5-10 minute behind the scenes at some studios, because I think gamers are also really disconnected of like how games are made, and I think that disconnect leads to what we have now, where there's like all these YouTubers and all these like so-called, you know, press experts that are, you know, telling you how games are made, and they don't really know. They have a large fan base with a lot of money behind them, but they don't have any expertise or knowledge or even first-hand experience. So we get a lot of misinformation out there. So it would be nice if there were more ways that, you know, developers and even the award shows as a whole could sort of bridge that gap a little bit. To be like, hey, you know, adding a new weapon to Space Marine, it's not as easy as you think. You know, making Wolverine or a Spider-Man 3, like the reason why we're not getting Spider-Man 2 DLC, like this is how long it takes and how far ahead of time you have to plan. And when your studio gets hacked, like this is what happens, right? Like things get ruined, things get put on the back burner, or decisions get changed, you know? Well, anything else you guys want to add?
No, I think that finished things off pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Jay, are you doing anything? Do you want me to like raid you on Twitch or anything?
And
like,
it's kind of
you gonna play some games, or you're logging off?
I was debating. I might, because I still have GTA 5 running. I have it running on PC. I'm gonna so I'm running around doing this stuff because I thought I had a club in there. I wanted to do some club stuff, but I didn't. So I just been riding around. So I don't know. I'll probably just call it a night though.
Okay. I just wanted to ask. I wanted to make sure. I think we'll do a little Twitch raid. Let me get that set up. We'll wrap up on the YouTube end here. I think Brittany is live playing some demos. Yeah, right there. Oh, that knock thing is kind of annoying. It just keeps popping up. Okay, gamers. I'm very thankful that everyone chimed in. Welcome all of you that came in the chat and shared your opinions, various games and movies and stuff that we talked about through the Game Awards. I want to thank our panelists here that kept everything. We weren't like screaming or shouting at each other, you know. It's all pretty. Even if we disagreed on categories, I I think it was all very respectful, and I think we had some really deep discussion. I do wish we had someone to further explain the metaphor thing, but I think overall we had a really broad group of gamers here to give you a general experience of what most games were like, and I think it was worthwhile. So I want to thank you both for joining us tonight.
No problem.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm glad we did it, man, because that makes it so much better than just me ranting about it. So, all right, so we're gonna wrap it up, gamers. Don't forget to hit that like button. You can check out jstar0420 over on Twitch, twitch.tv/jstar0420, and Acting Relic is also on Twitch under that name, and also on YouTube over there under the same name. We'll see you next time. Take care. Be safe. And look forward to some live coverage of the Game Awards to see if we're right about it. We'll have to get the panel back together for that one.
Mm-hmm.